It's on your homeschooling system. Repairs now can save you lots of money down the road. CapitalCityComfort-BR.com.
Bayou Ford has new 23 Ford F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995. Wait, that can't be right. Let me read that again. Yep, Bayou Ford has new F-150 STX trucks for only $39,995, plus 1.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty, and when we make a deal, we'll pay off your trade regardless of what you owe. Shop BayouFord.com or visit us just off I-10 and La Plaza. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. WAC through Ford Credit Financing, 8375 discount stock number F3843.
Custom Colors of Baton Rouge, specializing in body and paint, feature 100% platinum certified technicians, ensuring your car or truck is being worked on by the very best of the best. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Segan and Airline.
If you're tired of erosion and mud and want your lawn looking its best, winter is the easiest time to lay grass sod. Let Quality Sod help you select the perfect grass for your lawn. For winter sale prices, call 610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Wednesday, February 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect some rain with a high of 76. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap the Pelicans and Knicks and talk about LSU's big win over the Georgia Bulldogs. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB Wednesday, February 28, 2024. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Taylor hanging out with you today. Hope you're all having a great day. It's going to be a great show today. Very excited. Ton to get to. More of Brian Kelly sitting down with Times Picayune to break down like everything that Taylor teased. We got our guy Hold the Mayo coming up at 9 a.m. He had to miss Monday, push back. So it's going to be a very fun day in studio. How's everyone feeling? Huh? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Feeling well?
Feeling okay. I mean, I'm here unlike Matt Flynn. You know, I show up on Wednesdays when I'm supposed to.
Well, he, I get it. As a fellow thespian, his son has some work to do on the stage. And, I don't know, maybe you don't get it because you've never been in a play or a musical or ballet.
Actually, I was Joseph in the Christmas play in kindergarten at Calvary Baptist.
Would you look at that? Let me wipe the egg off my face.
Yeah.
Wait, so Joseph, okay, so you were, oh boy. You really believed her when she told you that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alondra, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Again, it's home day, getting closer to the end of the week.
Hell yeah, dude. Getting closer to a weekend that'll be filled with watching Dune 2. I, too, am very excited. Taylor, you started your own Dune journey last night.
You didn't see the first one?
Not until yesterday.
Dang.
I know.
Halfway,
I'm so
halfway
jealous.
through the first one.
Yeah, so you finally saw your first sandworm.
Yeah, so, last night Victoria's like, yeah, I want to see Dune 2 soon. I'm like, all right, have fun. And then she was like, hey, can we go see a movie Friday after the baseball game you got to do? I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, Dune 2's playing. She's like, well, we're sitting down right now and watching it. So I watched the first, like about an hour 20 to go out of the 2.5. So I'm about halfway done.
It's sick, dude. It's a very good movie. It's a
Tell
very
you what,
cool
Zendaya
universe.
got an easy paycheck in that first movie. I was telling you before the show, like I'm an hour 10 in, hadn't seen her at all, except like just a picture of her in Timothy Chalamet's Dream.
I feel like she ends up in the movie quite a bit. Maybe not though. I don't know. I haven't seen it since theaters. I'm gonna rewatch tonight or tomorrow myself. But I am very, very excited. That's gonna be kind of, I guess, the entire weekend. I'm also excited. I think we're gonna go either Thursday or Saturday though, because I'm super pumped to watch a little LSU Texas 7 p.m. Friday night. I mean, if that doesn't sound like perfect, drink way too much bourbon while watching baseball time, I don't know what does. I'm ecstatic. It's going to be fantastic.
I'm going, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. So you're going to take off after the show Friday and head over to Texas, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll be cool. Little boots on the ground reporting. Do you have a media pass?
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Hell yeah, dude. All right, so let's start with the New Orleans Pelicans. CJ, told you, bro. You don't want to be a Knicks fan, dog? Knicks? Man, Knicks is sorry. Look at last night. New Orleans Pelicans going into Madison Square Garden. And yeah, the Knicks may have been basically missing everybody, but it doesn't matter. Because Pelicans go in there and
same exact record now.
They beat that ass last night. Recovering from the 2-game home slide, I was very nervous about this 2-game road trip that they had coming up. And, I thought there was a lot of good last night. But I think the main thing, it's kind of some of the themes that we've been playing with the entire season, which is the depth of this team, right? You can be missing Ingram one day. McCollum just misses his second straight game with an ankle. But because you didn't worry too much about shrinking the rotation and making some moves, you have so many options that you can seemingly find answers more often than not. And last night, the answers were Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and mainly Trey Murphy, who completely shut down that game in the fourth quarter. He ends up at 26, 6-11 for the 16 of that coming in the fourth. And when he is in the zone like he is last night, like he was last night, that's a guy who looks like an NBA All-Star. I mean, when he was shooting in that fourth quarter, it was so confident that it bordered on unstoppable. And that's not even getting into when he decides to drive, right? Because you have to respect the shot, and then he decides to drive, and he can like jump from the free throw line basically and manage to finish at the rim. An exciting night last night for the Pelicans. Here's what Willie Green had to say about Trey Murphy and the impact that he has.
It's devastating to our opponents when Trey is making shots. You know, they got to burn timeouts. They got to figure out how to guard him. Now you can't load up on Zion and BI as much. And then I love what he's doing. He's shot faking, driving, and then swinging to teammates.
Is this one of those weird situations where, like, okay, obviously your frontline guys, maybe like a Zion or like an Ingram, are more important overall than Murphy, but does he represent that kind of X factor that maybe tips you into being really damn good? Like when he's on, then you are a kind of a top 4 team versus if he's off or more pedestrian, then you're kind of like, 6 to 8 range.
No, I think you're exactly right, because we always know it's not just the top player. And you talk about this like in college basketball, like Zach Edey for Purdue. Like Zach Edey's the best player in the country, probably going to win Player of the Year back-to-back years. But for Purdue to go to where they want to go, like it's the guard Braden Smith who's the most important player, because that's just what basketball is. So same thing with the Pelicans. Trey Murphy is the guy, and I like the lineup last night. I know CJ's out, and I'm not throwing shade at him, but I like how athletic, how long this lineup is, because you had Zion, you had B.I., Herb, Valanciunas, and then you had Trey obviously starting as well, and Trey got the most minutes of anybody. Like, that is a very athletic lineup. That is a lineup that can go out there and get buckets as well. So, now Trey Murphy does feel like kind of that X-factor guy for the Pelicans. If he's on, they are incredibly hard to beat, and when his shot's not going, like they always continuously look for a guy to make shots, and sometimes it just doesn't come. And then when you get the bench play like you got, like even like a Matt Ryan coming in and going 2 for 2, right? And like that can be big in like the postseason or crunch games. He only plays 12 minutes. He comes down, he knocks down 2 threes. And so there's a couple of guys that are different roles for the Pelicans, but I think you're exactly right. I think Trey Murphy is the guy that kind of makes everything go a lot of times if you try to take away, like Willie Green said, Zion and B.I.
Well, and again, because the Pelicans, remember, from a percentage standpoint, they're a top 10 shooting team in the NBA from 3. I want to say, though, from an attempts and makes standpoint, they're still maybe like in the high teens, low 20s. So they're not necessarily the most volume of shooting teams, and but when they are like when they shoot like that last night, again, they become near unstoppable. They become a top 4 team in the NBA because they play great defense. They obviously have a huge paint presence with the strength of Jonas Valanciunas and the ability of Zion to drive and dish, and Just a fantastic win to avoid 3 losses in a row, go on the road, get the win. Now, a quick turnaround. I believe they're, in Indiana tonight, right? A little back-to-back with travel, which is always tough. See what they can do here. Somebody else I wanted to...
multiple back-to-backs with Indiana. Remember, we talked about that. So you go straight to Indiana from New York. You play them tonight. Then you have one travel day, and then you play the Pacers back in the Smoothie King Center. So it's going to be pretty tough stretch there for the Pelicans, knowing that you're going to play 3 playoff teams, because I know it's still the same team, but 3 playoff teams in 4 days.
Yeah. And again, if you go 2 or 3 there, I think that's a big win. I also want to talk about Herb Jones a little bit here. Obviously, he shot very well from outside last night. And look, Herb Jones, I'm never going to look to Herb for overwhelming offensive numbers, again, from a volume standpoint. And granted, he's giving you 11.5 a game, right? Which 11.5 a game, free of any context. If you're telling me you're getting that from a legitimate all-NBA defender, I'd say that's a win. But it's the efficiency that is boggling the mind. Herb right now shooting 51% from the field. After last night, he's up to 43% from 3 and 86 from the free throw line. I mean, those are elite numbers. He's damn near the 50, 40, 90 club, which is one of the most rarefied airs in all of basketball. And that's to go along with 4 boards, 3 assists, 1 block, and about 1.5 steals per game as well. So like you said, Jake, when you got Herb and you got Trey and in the game at the same time, along with Zion and BI, everybody, and then Jonas, everybody's just so long and so athletic and so hard to figure out not only how to score against, but how to stop from scoring. So excellent win by the Pels last night. Josh Hart doing everything he could, try to beat his old team, and still my guy, miss him, but very happy that the Pelicans got it done last night.
And now they sit there in 5th, and it's kind of something we're obviously
jumped back up.
Yeah, starting to track. And like last night, the Mavericks, they lose on a half-court buzzer beater against the Cavs, and that's the team that you need to lose if you're a Pelicans fan. So right there, you're in a group of Mavericks, Kings, Suns, Pelicans, and even though the Clippers in there, Golden State is still 3 games behind where you're at, but you're just clustered together 4 through 9 really in the West.
I find this a little hard to believe. They said that I think I've read that Max Strus game winner was the 2nd longest buzzer beater in the shot clock era.
I mean, it was
beyond half court, which is crazy. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's because buzzer beater, not shot to take the lead. It's just that's near 50 years now. That's the 2nd longest game winner we've ever seen.
We need to show all the different angles of that. Pretty remarkable.
We need to show that. Also, there's a little cut up of basically, because really it's not just that shot. I think they were down 10 with about 2.5 minutes to go, and Strus hit 4 threes in a row. It was not unlike, didn't T-Mac score 13 in 30 seconds one time back in the day?
Yeah.
I think you had Reggie Miller go 8 in 8 seconds back in the day. This was a little bit of a longer time period, but Max Strus straight up just won them that game, just took it away from the Mavericks at the end. I mean, you're seeing it here. It was every possession coming up with big threes and then ending in one of the most insane buzzer beaters that you'll ever see.
Tim Hardaway Jr., you might want to cover him a little bit tighter.
Oh, my gosh.
He just kept giving him space.
Skunk.
That's incredible.
That is awesome.
To tell you, so we're talking about the Mavericks losing there, and that's good for the Pelicans. To tell you how close the West is, so in the East, Boston is number 1. Cleveland, who just made that shot, is number 2. 7.5 games between them. So Boston leads them by 7.5 games. Over in the West, so Minnesota's number 1. The number 7 seed Sacramento Kings are 7.5 games from them. So 1-7 in the West, 1-2 in the East. To tell you just how close the West is. I mean, truly, there's not a lot that separates 1-10. I mean, 1-10 are only 10 games apart.
Yeah, it's a situation where you really cannot get complacent.
No.
Because just one bad run of play could sink you all the way down to where suddenly not only you're in the play-in, but maybe you're hitting the road on the play-in because you fall all the way down to the 9 or 10 seed. So Pelicans
Or
got
you
to
can
stay
host almost throughout.
yeah, exactly, right? Last night felt huge. Last night
it
felt
did.
huge. And again, I know the Knicks are missing a lot of their stars, but okay.
I mean, Brunson was really only the main guy that was missing.
Is Julius Randle not still?
But he's been out for extended period of time.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, from their current form, like.
Okay, I didn't know that. So still, whatever. Okay, but so like when their top scorer's out, you have to take advantage.
Yes.
And they did that. They go to the Garden. They come out with a big win. Great job, Pels. Flock up. Bad news, Birds. All right, this is a bit of a tonal shift next segment, so I apologize for the whiplash. But we teased yesterday. We never quite got to it. On3 did a massive update to their current recruiting rankings. And let's take a look at how affected this LSU 2025 class, which was number 1 in the nation going into the reshuffle. Where did they land? We'll break it down next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You go to GEAUXTommys.com. Let's go Tommys.com, and you will see the difference clearly. 7 years in a row, Tommy's been awarded with the Angie Service Award. Go look at the incredible customer reviews and understand there's a lot that goes into that. It's not just the strong price point. It's the level of service that you get, and it's the confidence that Tommy gives you in the job they're going to get done. If you need vinyl and wood windows, they got you. You can also do vinyl siding, hardy plank. Install all types of doors. So look, it is tax return season. You get a good tax return. Why don't you invest in your home with a call to Tommy? And as always, we recommend getting multiple bids. Tommy just wants to be one of them. Let them prove to you why they're the best.
Over 20 years of experience. They're going to work in the Baton Rouge and throughout Louisiana area, right? They've won that Super Service Award on Angie's List every year since 2016. Provide free estimates. They do it all for you. Go Tommys.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
So join us for Wednesday's AFR presented by Pluckers. Matt is back in the host chair. We're talking Combine with NFL draft analyst Josh Edwards. It's Wednesday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell her what the young boy gon' do. Damn them chicks with you. Gotta be your kin. They pretty.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Is your man on the flow? If he ain't, let me know. Welcome back, OTB. There it is. Dude, with this shirt tucked in like this, I feel like I'm in Dazed and Confused. I should have some shorts on.
Either Dazed and Confused,
big
or
like Marlboro hanging out of my
either that or the Hangover.
Yeah, the Hangover. I tell you what. I tell you what. Look, the white T-shirt tucked in. Napoleon Dynamite.
Yep. True, dude. True. Shout out home field.
First, I was a one-man wolf pack.
Dude, again, seeing that midnight college kids in theaters, absolutely fantastic. All right, so I teased before the break. Let's get to it. On3 released a big, massive update to their recruiting rankings, and the question is, because look, a lot of the LSU recruits moves around in it, right? A lot of Louisiana kids moves around in it. Where did LSU fall post reshuffle? Well, it should come as no surprise that LSU still has the number one class for 2025. In fact, if anything, Jake, when you look at the reshuffle, it was just a validation of the incredible class that this team, that this staff is currently putting together. Bryce Underwood, still QB1, number one player in the nation, no question about it. Have we ever talked about Bryce Underwood's stats last year? Like his raw numbers from last season?
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit.
Well, let's just say we didn't, Taylor. Shut up. Bryce Underwood as a junior threw for 3,300 yards while completing 65% of his passes, 41 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 12.4 yards per attempt. So not thinking, just big play after big play. Also ran for 7 more touchdowns. How about this? Taylor, did we talk about this? I bet you didn't know this. Turned 17 in August. He's playing a year up. He's not even, he should have been a sophomore last year. He's going to be 17 as a senior. He's going to be 17 his entire senior year. He'll be 17 when he gets to LSU. He won't turn 18 till right before camp starts.
So a lot like Colin Hurley did that.
No, yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. What's up with all these quarterbacks just being they're just it's insane to me. So Bryce Underwood's still number one. DeCorian Moore, still the number one wide receiver in the entire country. Number 3 overall player in the entire country. Think about this. At 5'11", 175 as well. Might have ourselves a little college Tyreek Hill coming here. 68 catches for him, 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, and another championship for Duncanville High School. And then Harlem Berry, guess what? Still the number 1 running back in the entire country. Still a top 10 player in the entire country. And I love the On3 piece. They point out the Harlem Berry commitment comes 10 years after Frank Wilson got Leonard Fournette. To the date almost. Basically 10-year anniversary of Fournette. You have another number 1 running back in the entire country emerging out of Louisiana, and he is firmly committed to the Tigers.
So the class held up.
The class held up. But so I don't want you to think, though, that this was all just a big hoodwink, because there were some interesting changes. One of them being JT Lindsey. So we talked about Harlem Berry. We've talked about James Simon. Where's James Simon at?
Calvary.
Okay, yeah. So we talked about James Simon. They're going hard after James Simon. But JT Lindsey, crap, I forgot. Where's JT Lindsey go? Taylor, do you know?
He's off the top of my head.
Another Louisiana running back, Jake. He was unranked. He's now a 4-star top 150 player in the entire country.
Oh, he's at Alexandria.
Yeah, there we go. So
Is it Ash?
shout it out.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out. My former teammates, the head coach there. Shout out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's alma mater.
Oh, that's right. I forgot your dad's a 3-1 great.
Thank you, Taylor. So JT,
hey, I appreciate that.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, we were making all the connections.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. No. So JT Lindsay, how about that? Unranked, now a 4-star, number 143, 11th running back in the country. So the question is, Jake, is this a situation? Do you try to somehow get all 3 running backs? Or do you pursue all 3 and you just got to land 2 of the 3?
Now, maybe you know this better than I do. Well, maybe they were a year before you. I believe you got Keelan Williams, Charles Scott, and Richard Murphy all in the same class.
They were all the same age. I don't know if they were the same class. I don't know if somebody redshirted, but they were all the same age.
Well, I think they all came in, I'm saying, at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they were all incredibly high rated, and all 3 of those players certainly helped LSU at one point or another. So, like, it's been done before, and that all 3 are guys from in-state and kind of different areas of the state, 2 from North Louisiana and then Keelan from the Lafayette area. So it's been done before, and it's actually paid off for LSU. And so it's not crazy to think that they could take all 3 running backs. Now, you're going to prioritize kind of like where it is. It's a very hard sell. You do have a position where LSU, more than any other team I can remember, rotates guys, and there's not really true. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like the one guy that was the main RB1 and nobody else was really going to come in. He played 92% of the snaps in 2019. Outside of that, though, like everybody's been like, even like Leonard Fournette had guys that would come in and spell him a little bit, and Darrell Williams and other guys. And so it's been done before, but I just don't know where your priorities are as far as, okay, this is our 1, this is our 2, this is our 3, this is our 4. Like how far is the distance between 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3 if you want to take all 3 guys? I'm looking at his offer list right now, and it's going to start to pick up. You know how this works, T-Bob.
Mm-hmm.
You get a ranking like this, and you get more eyeballs on you, and then now people pay attention to you. They watch the tape, and they like it. But he's already got offers. If we're just going here in the Power 5 from Houston, Mississippi State, Pitt, and Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Oh, So I mean, and that again, like Jake said, I imagine that would increase. The point is, or not the point, but to me, look, yeah, obviously Harlem Berry's priority number 1. You've got you hopefully can you've got him locked up. You hopefully can eventually land him and get him signed. And then I don't think you can really go wrong with James Simon or JT Lindsay after that if you want to go after either guy. And it feels like you're going to be very well set up. There's also some exciting offensive linemen to keep an eye on. There is Lamont Rogers. This cat's 6'7", 305. He's from Mesquite, Texas. Number 58 overall player in the country. He sets another top 100. He's considered a heavy LSU lean. And then there's Micah DeBose, a top 150 player in the entire country. 6'4", 221 from Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile.
Considered a heavy LSU lean. So Brad Davis doing a very good job going into a couple of neighboring states. Well, potentially, we'll see what ends up happening, but at least the experts thinking he's doing a very good job with them thus far. And for what it's worth, we've talked about Dorian Brew on this show, the great athlete / defensive back whose mother was an Ohio State track star, whose father was an LSU track All-American star, and is who's going to decide between the two. He is flirting with getting a 5-star rating as well. So, in the reshuffling, LSU comes out arguably looking even better than they did before. And this 2025 class, if you can keep it together, if you can land this class, it could be one of the most impactful, one of the most historic in school history. And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a class where a single team has gotten the number 1 quarterback, running back, and wide receiver in the country.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that either, and certainly it would be quite the haul considering some of those guys are from Louisiana, which is always important, but some of those guys are from outside of the area, so it shows you where the recruiting map is for LSU. And a couple things here. Like players from Mobile, Alabama, I would love to see LSU kind of really get back in the Mobile area. Yeah. They've had some real success, and Jamarcus Russell, Chavis Jackson, just to name a few, but there's certainly been others. And it is a place, and you and I we go there every year, and we always talk about it. There's not just one school in Mobile. It's not like it's Alabama. It's Alabama, it's Auburn, and it's LSU. Mm-hmm. Like it's like 33.3% for all those schools. And so like you see a lot of LSU stuff when you're in Mobile. So there's already, there's a footprint for LSU to go in there and to be able to get players, and it's some really good football. Like my brother-in-law played in that area. I went and watched Phillip Rivers coach. He coaches in that area as well. They had state champions from that area and in the state of Alabama. Like, there's some real talent, real resources and money put into some of these programs.
Yeah.
I mean, you got coaches making like six figures in most of these programs in the Mobile area. So, like, the talent is there. LSU already has fans in that area, so families grow up watching LSU football. I would love to see them get back in that area, start to get, hey, if it's 5 players in a 5-year period, like, there's players there that I think can move the needle.
Well, and there's no more Nick, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that cannot be ignored in all of this. There's no more Jimbo in Texas either. And LSU seems to be taking advantage thus far. And last thing I'd say on this class, you could almost argue that it's taking like, and I really like this. Well, actually, I don't know if this is accurate. I was going to say that it's a bit opposite from last class where you did all the foundational work, establishing like a great base, and then you peppered in some big names at the very end, whereas now you have the big names, and now you can do the foundational Louisiana work. And there's truth to that. But then again, they kind of have both already. I mean, they've got how many of the top 10 in Louisiana committed already? I want to say it's like 8 or 9. Yeah,
it's at least 8. It might be 9.
It might be 9 now.
So actually, they're doing both. They've already got the big names, and they're already really putting together a solid, concrete base of Louisiana talent.
I think it's 8. One's committed elsewhere, and then Simon is a heavy lean towards LSU.
Yeah.
So that would be the 10th guy there. I like how On3 does this, by the way. Like, if you're looking at the running back position, like I'm looking at Harlem Berry's profile right now, it tells you how many running backs have been drafted from that school in the last 5 years, and also how many total players you've had drafted from that school. LSU, 37 players drafted in the last 5 years. The only one on this list that has more would be Georgia at 41.
Damn.
But you have more than Michigan at 32. You have more than Alabama at 36. There's another school that was up there. Ohio State's got 32. So it's kind of a cool layout of how many guys you've got drafted. Georgia's had 4 running backs drafted in the last 5 years. LSU's had 2. I was surprised to see this. Ole Miss, 12 players drafted. 3 were running backs?
Huh. Ben Jarvis? No,
the law firm, baby.
I'm just kidding.
I wish I could give you another one, but that's the one. Like, as soon as you said Ole Miss running back, I was going to try to use that one.
Well, I mean, Zach Evans got drafted last year, too. So
that's true.
Oh, yeah, I guess that technically.
Yeah, because his last year was at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
All right, so there it is. A little Cruton for you all there. When we get back, let's talk about the LSU basketball's big win last night in the PMAC. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I love Trash Rangers. Not just because they let me climb into a $500,000 piece of equipment and start doing donuts in the parking lot. That was fun. No doubt. They didn't think I was going to whip that thing. Shoot. But I love them because of the level of service that they provide their customers and because they're Louisiana first, okay? And so if you're in Ascension Parish, you're in Livingston Parish, go with the local guys. You have a choice. You're lucky. You have a choice. Some of us don't. You do. You probably see the red cans popping up at your neighbors' houses. That's Trash Rangers. You go to trashsignup.com. In 3 minutes, you choose your number of cans, see how much it costs, see your pickup days. And remember, they always text you ahead of time. So forget about these national companies where the trash stays here, but the profits leave. Not the case with Trash Rangers, trashsignup.com.
Go to their website today, and you can do everything T-Bob said. Also, you can always give them a call, 225-401-0838. Go to that website today to sign up, trashrangersllc.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
drink, or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Gray Bear says, I took my wife to see Dazed and Confused on our first date, and she never let me pick the movie ever again. Why not?
Why? That's a good movie.
I don't feel like that's an especially male movie. I mean, I would say yes, it probably leans male, but I feel like it's more of a kind of high school coming of age type of story. Alondra, did you have thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
right, yeah. I
don't think
I
I'd
wonder
be.
why.
If
It's
I
not like highly inappropriate either. Like it's not like full on like Porky's or like American Pie or anything like that.
No, I would definitely let him pick a movie again.
Also, the open to Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite ever, with sweet emotion and the slow-mo car driving in and like joints being rolled up and like kids flirting. I think Dazed and Confused is an all-timer. Although I came to it senior year of high school and it definitely caused me to be like, like what is football, man? Man, like what I had some moments of like, what is it all like what's it all about, man? Little pink Randall Floyd.
That's so funny.
But yeah, that ended up being probably one of my favorite movies ever.
It's a pretty good one.
We love a good young Ben Affleck. Also, in terms of
I
soundtrack.
just love Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I love him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love Ben Affleck as well. I think Ben Affleck was a good Batman.
He was a great Batman.
I don't think he was given the best opportunity, the best scripts to work
good.
with, but I think he was a very good Batman.
Of all the great things that Ben Affleck has done, I mean, incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Like, The Town's one of my favorites.
The Town's
he's a director.
so good. Best heist movie
When y'all
ever.
say Ben Affleck, the first thing I think of, if you white, you Ben Affleck. Every time. Like, it doesn't matter like, what
that's
he's
such
done.
an
Another great
underrated
movie.
That's so good. Of course, he has a turtle.
It's the very beginning of college for me. Shout out LARPing, dude. That made me want to LARP.
Oh,
I've still never got to LARP though. So
that
is there
actually
LARPing here in Baton Rouge?
For sure, there has to be.
We should do an OTB
for
I
LARP.
would be shocked if somebody around here doesn't do that.
Yeah.
There's definitely, but I mean, I'm one, but like somebody definitely does. But what is the actual size?
Yeah.
Right. Like are we? Because there are very, very deep, large, massive LARPing type setups, a la what they did in Role Models. I would love to check that out. Well,
Role Models is so funny.
It really is. It really is. Also, Dazed and Confused, like I said, all-time soundtrack, all-time good soundtrack, top to bottom, all of it, just incredible. All right, LSU getting it done last night in the PMAC. Bouncing back after losing to Mississippi State. They had a big lead early. Looked like maybe they were going to let it slip away, but they find a way in the end to get the win as Will Baker's 2 free throws fall with 15 seconds left to get the 1-point lead. Then you come up with a couple defensive stops on the other end, and all of a sudden, you have a Tiger team. Now 15-13 on the year and 7-8 in the SEC. With 3 games remaining, 3 very winnable games remaining, still a great chance of finishing above 500. And look, like every LSU game this year, it was not, again, that's just who this team is. It's not like it was overwhelmingly good or dominant. It was sloppy. There was a lot of bad, but what's been the common denominator, the common theme, I guess I should say, is a fight. Just constantly fighting, scrapping, doing whatever you can to find a way to win the game. And it was ugly. Nobody shot well, but you got it done at the line. And in the end, you come away with a really big, like the difference between 6-9 and 7-8 going into this final stretch feels massive. And I'm not talking about from tournament perspective or anything.
Right.
I'm talking about from pride. From pride and showing improvements and making strides and setting yourself up to potentially finish above 500 in conference play.
Yeah, if we're talking tournament, like they would have had to beat Mississippi State and ran the table and maybe win a game in the SEC tournament. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a team that was just not good last year. We all know that. We know the reasons why they weren't good, and the expectation for this team wasn't that high. Yeah. I mean, they're sitting there, and they're in the middle of the conference. Mm-hmm. They're 8th in the conference, and they've beaten some really good teams. They're ahead of teams like an Ole Miss, like a Texas A&M, like an Arkansas that were certainly picked in front of you in the preseason. And so you're overachieving right now. It's a really good sign for this team to be where they're at, and they continue to get some recruits. The recruiting class is another really good one. And so the progress that you wanted to see for LSU basketball, I think it's way ahead of schedule. Like, I didn't have them finishing 8th and beating some of the teams that they've beaten on Kentucky and South Carolina and others. And like you said, T, they're 7-8 right now. If they finish with a winning record in the SEC, there is not one person that can tell you that that was not a good season for Matt McMahon.
No, I mean, look, I know Matt McMahon is very highly paid. And if it was just like, if you were someone who just didn't understand like context or anything like that, you could look at the record and say, oh, well, that's not good. But no, I would say it's well, like that was well earned. If he managed to finish his above 500 just 2 years after what he took over in a conference that is tougher than it's been. Well, certainly when we were growing up, I think vastly more consistent and tougher top to bottom, but tougher than it's been in a few years, even this year alone, then yeah, that's Matt McMahon definitely earning his keep.
8 teams in the latest bracketology. Yeah. 8 teams right now in the NCAA tournament, and it was 9 before. So I think Ole Miss might have fallen out.
What about you, Taylor? I know you watched last night's game very closely. What were your biggest takeaways?
They got lucky on the end there, didn't they? I mean, this was a game that they were up by 15 points early in the second half, and it's one of those games where, I mean, basketball more than any is a game of momentum. Georgia has all the momentum, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm going to be shocked if LSU wins this game. Like, everything's going wrong for them. Way too many turnovers. Somebody on the broadcast last night, it may have actually been Tom Hart, said that with 5 minutes to go in the game, a third of LSU's possessions the entire game ended in a turnover. It's 16 last night as a team. It was awful. And I get it. You're short a couple guys. You got 2 guys that are playing point guard that aren't really natural point guards, but it was Will Baker turning the ball over a ton. I mean, it was guys that aren't necessarily running the offense, but it was all over the place. That's what kept Georgia in the ballgame. Georgia shot 27% from 3. You shot 50% from 3. Now, they put up 27 shots, but you still made 9 to their 7. They were 7 of 27. You were 9 of 18, which, if you want to flip it and talk about a positive, that's the biggest positive, because LSU losing to Mississippi State, they shot 3 for 17 from 3.
Yeah,
they were 9 of 18 last night. I mean, it was a complete turnaround. That's what happens when Tyrell Ward gets to play the entire game. You know, he missed the majority of it against Mississippi State with a turnover. I really like the fight of this team. And look, y'all were talking about it. Oh, this team's a little bit ahead of schedule. I'd argue that they're actually better than their record. I mean, I think they should have beaten Georgia in Athens the first time they played. That's a game they let slip away. About a month ago when Texas A&M was here, LSU was up by 10 with 5 minutes to go in that ball game. They let that one slip away. I mean, they should probably have 9 SEC wins right now. They're playing really well. Again, I hate the blown lead.
Yeah, but
sometimes that's basketball.
But you've also taken advantage of blown leads.
No, for sure.
You have to accept that.
Yeah, South Carolina, Kentucky, both. Those games.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Tennessee, I get you lost big, but you cut that from 26 to 8.
And that's the difference. That's how you go from a nice story, a decent team, to a good team.
Yeah,
like you find a way to win more of those than you lose. It's not split like it is right now. You find a way to win some of those games, and so they're trying to find that. And they're trying to figure out, okay, who can we be at the end of these games? And they fought a lot of these games and didn't go their way at the very end. But now I can't concentrate with Kirk Cousins with a grill on here in
grill
studio.
Looks so creepy. It looks so weird. I love him, though. We're just
I don't know. See, I got Kirk Buggins over here
Kirko
with a
Chains
grill on
just screwed us,
studio.
dude. It's a man who's about to make $51 million a year. Shut up, Kirk.
I mean, remember those years where he was getting franchised every single year? Like, I'd love to see what
Nobody's
his net
made more
worth
money.
is.
And then remember, when he got the deal for Minnesota, he got the fully guaranteed 3 years, 80 plus million, which nobody had gotten. Kirk has been a financial wizard betting on himself in his NFL career. All right. Champ has a comment in the chat I want to get to next about Mac McMahon and you know, are we overhyped? And we'll get to it next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, Community Steel Co. What's the website? Why am I blanking? CommunitySteelCo.com? No? Is that right? Yeah. Jeez.
I thought that was a bit.
No.
Did you just have a stroke?
No, that was a CTE thing. That was a steel TE thing. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
You want steel, you want to get it from the local guys. Your purlin, your tubing, your steel buildings, your sheet metal. Look, I'm trying up here. You want to go to Community Steel where you can touch and feel the product. You're going to get it at the best prices because, again, straight from the wholesaler to their manufacturing, you know, right there on site. You can go look at it. And then you meet the live and local sales team. You form relationships, and they know how to best serve you and your needs, whether they be personal or business. CommunitySteelCo.com.
Go to the website today. Remember, they open up at 7 a.m. over there in Gonzales. So they're already there waiting on you to come see them. Go to the top right corner of the website. Click on Community Steel to find out that location. Call them today at 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, this is a Jazzy Fizzle production.
Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, closing hour number 1. And then getting hour 2, we got a lot of football talk. As Brian Kelly talked to media, he talked about Garrett Nussmeier going into spring, the availability of Zy Alexander and other injury news going into spring. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to this LSU defensive line, or lack thereof, I guess you could say, as I don't know that I have ever seen. I'm not exaggerating here, Jake. I don't know that I've ever seen an interior defensive line group in such a disheartening state, let's say. And it's not, and I don't mean that as like disrespect to the guys, because it's not even about the individuals themselves, but it's kind of like how they're made up, like where they came from. How did we arrive at the bodies that we did? And we'll get into it though next hour. I did want to give a huge shout out to Haley Bryant. We love gymnastics on this team, or on this show. I especially have been really getting into it this year. Got a huge, I believe they got Alabama on Friday at home. Pack out the PMAC. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. LSU's still number 2 in the country. How about this? Like, we talk about Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. I don't think we recognize that we have that in Haley Bryant right now. Haley Bryant has the highest all-around score in the entire country. She has spent 6 straight weeks, 6 weeks, in the most individual of sports, in a sport that is now filled with Olympians. Haley Bryant has spent 6 weeks as the number 1 all-around gymnast in the entire nation. She's incredible. If you haven't seen her live, you're doing yourself a disservice, whether you watch it on television or you go and you see them live in the PMAC on Friday, which you might want to go ahead and get your tickets because they go fast. She's been awesome. So shout out Haley. Champ in the chat, ending last segment. Where's my screen?
While you look for that, I meant to say this yesterday, but since we're shouting out women's sport, LSU softball is ranked number 3 by D1 softball. So we're in the top 3.
Another undefeated week for LSU softball weekend, I should say.
Yeah.
Crazy the amount of consistency that they're playing with right now.
Mm-hmm.
How many SEC teams are in the top 25 still?
10.
Yeah. And again, that's not including Oklahoma and Texas, who are 1 and 2. So Oklahoma, Texas, LSU 1, 2, 3. Shout out Coach Beth Torina's squad, really doing special things here early on. Champ says Matt McMahon's doing a solid job this year. Will Wade took over less of a team and was in the tournament year 2 with harder transfer rules. Y'all act like Matt McMahon's doing something unthinkable. So I think a couple of points here. I don't know that I agree that Will Wade took over less of a team, because Matt McMahon literally took over a team that did not exist. Like, you could not, it was just Milwaukee Wilkinson, right?
And he was in the portal.
I think Trey Hannibal was a Wade player, wasn't he?
No,
Trey Hannibal came from
Murray State.
Okay. I had my timeline.
Milwaukee was the only one, but even he was in the portal. So at the time, you had no players that were firmly on your team.
So you had Wilkinson, and then you had Justice Williams, who has since been gone. Both of them were in the portal. Williams was back first. Then you got Wilkinson, but that's kind of the reason I'm such a big Tyrell Ward fan now. He was a 5-star, and he was a signee.
Yeah.
And he had committed under Wade. He stuck to his commitment, and he's probably the most important player on your basketball team.
The other thing I would say, so yes, the transfer rules are easier now, but it's actually, I would argue, a little harder to get some of these big-time guys, because you can't pay them as much as they can make now. Like, maybe when payment was more illegal, and I'm using air quotes because everybody was paying and doing this kind of shady stuff, right? But it was still a bit underhanded, and it wasn't as, like, we've seen what these numbers are getting up to now that the top's off, right? And LSU basketball clearly cannot keep up, because I think people would rather invest money in football, they'd rather invest money in baseball. So, like, I would actually argue, yes, transfers are easier, but I kind of feel like it's a tougher roster building spot for McMahon to be in than Wade. And look, I think both are good. You know, that's the other thing. Wade was awesome. Like, he was a special coach. And I think he's continued to prove that. I wasn't sure about Matt McMahon, and I've eaten crow, because this year I think he is proving to be a special coach as well. Somebody also mentioned that maybe McMahon is better at the X's and O's portion. And I think you could see that this year. I think I would agree with that.
And you also have to realize the cloud that was over LSU basketball, because you didn't know what the sanctions, or if there was going to be sanctions, were going to be. So when you got players here, like it's harder because, yes, it's easier to transfer in than it was when Will took over. But also for Matt McMahon, he's trying to recruit, and he has no idea if he can make the postseason, if it would be allowed, if he's going to have a 3-year ban, whatever that might be. So when you go into these homes, hey, coach, what's the situation on that? I don't really know because the NCAA takes forever to do anything. So you can't even sell that. Like, you can't even tell them if it was bad, like, hey, we're going to be on probation for 2 years. Like, you had no idea. So you're flying blind trying to recruit these players when you don't really have an idea what was going to happen or if anything was going to happen.
Do we know yet? Is it?
It's NCAA.
I never know what the IERPs actually.
You just take them to court and they'll be scared and they'll just take the tail and run.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that yet. Maybe that's an hour 3 thing that a federal judge basically said. We didn't talk about that on the show, right? That pay for play is officially allowed. Or seriously, pay for recruiting. Like pay for play is officially allowed. Hour 2, a lot of football talk coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Wednesday, February 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect some rainy skies with a high of 74. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk Brian Kelly and his expectations of Garrett Nussmeier in 2024 and break down the LSU roster as a whole. Then we'll also talk some New Orleans Saints. If you You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTV_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB. Daniel Bash from the chat. The hell, Taylor? Hey, Taylor played hurt yesterday. Look, Taylor had a
it was
migraine.
Monday, yeah.
That was Monday?
Yeah, it was
Wasn't
Monday.
yesterday?
No, that was Monday.
You probably told me that during the commercial break, too, after I asked, too, and I didn't even listen.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's fine.
Taylor played hurt Monday. Okay, give him a break. It's Wednesday. You know how these Gen Zers are.
I was telling Alondra, I was like, he never gets me when you try to say something to mess me up. It's not what you said. I don't know what you were doing, but I looked at you and you were like, something with your headphones, and I'm like, what in the hell is
fired
T-Bob
up,
doing?
dude.
And then I just completely lost my train of thought.
Getting juiced up for another hour of local radio.
Yeah.
Something I've been doing now for, 11 years, baby. 11 years of daily 3 hours a day local radio. I guess I had a year or two in there at the beginning of this show where it was only 2 hours. I fought and clawed to try to get a third at it on. Finally got it.
Oh, you used to do it by yourself, too. For a little bit, right?
Yeah. I've had plenty of solo dolo jobs through the years. Roy Kent, I don't understand why T-Bob still gives Champs comments the time of day. Trolls are meant to be ignored. So you got to understand, I do that because I think that Champs comments, and I think he knows exactly what he's doing here. But I think Champs comments echo the sentiments of portions of the fan base. And so I find them to be interesting launching pads for conversation, right? Like I like leaning into something like that and then acknowledging that, hey, both can be good coaches. And both can be good coaches in different ways. And then again, I find it interesting to think about, was it easier to build a team a few years ago or is it easier to build a team now? And I'm not saying that I know the answer. I think, and I'm talking about from the LSU perspective, is it easier or not? I'm not the expert that's going to be able to give you the best answer, but I think that's interesting to play with because you would think it would just be now because you can pay players legally and the transfer portal and everything. But does that actually help you if you're LSU and you don't have the money to pay that other schools did? Like when things were capped and $100,000 would be a massive deal, okay, you could probably come up with that money. Now, bro, in the NIL era, what, Jackson Dart just got a PJ deal? Not pajamas.
That's the, not Tennessee quarterback.
No, private jet. Jackson Dart. So I didn't read the details of the deal. Did y'all go over it on off campus?
It's Nichols Air, I believe, is the company, and he gets airtime. Like he gets it for personal use. He gets it for anything like camps and different things that he's doing. I guess for Ole Miss or Manning camp or wherever he wants to go.
No
and he
way.
Also any charity stuff that he wants to do. Like if he's got a charity golf tournament or wherever, he's from Southern California. If he wants to go there, then that also is included in the airtime.
So Jackson Dart,
who you call Jackson
Fart,
all of last year.
Yeah, but also, not that whatever. Yes, Jackson Fart. I say because it is objectively funny. But I also just said the other day that I think Jackson Dart should be one of the top candidates for the Heisman. I'm very high on Jackson Dart.
You weren't even down on him. You just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah. It's just too funny not to. But you're telling me that Jackson Dart can bring his friends to spring break on a PJ?
Yeah.
Just fly the PJ down to Mexico?
If he's still got the airtime, yeah.
And then literally tell the girls on the beach, do y'all want to get on my private jet and fly back to Vegas for the night? That bruh. These college kids, man. I also read
that might
today,
be the sweetest NIL deal that I've heard.
That's insanity. I also heard that Caleb Williams is estimated to have made $10 million already. Before ever, he might be taking a pay cut playing in the NFL.
On his rookie salary?
Yes, which does beg the question, do they have to re-examine the rookie wage scale depending on how high and crazy NIL gets? If players are do they have to raise it more than what it is currently?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the NFL, like they don't have to rush these players. There's always going to be players going into the NFL. And college football, I think it's good for them, so I can't really see them fighting against each other. Like, we got extra years of players. Like, even Jaden Daniels. Like, Jaden could have come out last year, probably been a third-round pick. I think Mel Kiper has like the 7th and 9th best quarterback in last year's draft.
Yeah.
Well, he comes back this year, and he can come back, and he can make a lot of money in the NIL space, and he can win a Heisman, and now he's going to be a top 5 pick.
Oh, man, there's a lot of good jokes in the chat that I think are very funny, but I'm going to choose not to read because I am a mature, discerning adult. But if you want to see them, you should get in youtube.com/1045 ESPN.
I was trying to look for it, but I think he deleted it. But the other day, Ole Miss football tweeted out a video, and like Jackson Dart was in it, and Lane Kiffin quoted it, and he was like, "Never do this again." But it was like one of those like
what happened?
Super corny. Like, I'm pretty sure he was joking, but it was like a super corny, kind of like Alabama posted that video of them.
Which one?
Alabama football, and they
I need a little more detail.
Oh, the workout video?
Yeah, and they posted one like that.
Wait,
on Ole
okay,
Miss.
no, hold on. Can I defend that workout video?
If you
That was
want.
a very normal.
If that's a hill you want to die
Bro,
on.
that was a very normal workout that Alabama doing. They were just doing like knee explosions. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's acting like
It was is it A-skips?
Yeah,
that they were
and they
doing?
made, yeah, well, they but like not like ace, but they were like doing the where you like
Oh, the
you
bound,
land, yeah,
what
you're
is it called?
bounding, yeah, the bounding,
Yeah.
and everybody acts like they're out here doing like Black Swan or something. Like no, like that's an actual like SID drill.
What you need to do?
Maybe no, I get it. It's not the coolest looking one, but it's not like. But some people are like Alabama's cooked, like, bro. Alabama was doing that under Saban. That's all. That's my only point. That's not like some new age workout or something that.
Y'all got too much time on the internet.
Yeah,
on
so
y'all's
the
hands.
video, what you need to do.
It did look pretty funny, to be fair.
What you need to do is go in the comments and be like, okay, who are the people making these comments? Let's go check them out a little bit. I saw the video. I thought it was a normal workout too. Like they're just
Yeah. Nah, like and if you get in the comments, a lot of people are having that same.
And look, I love to troll Alabama. I mean, we do it all the time, right? But
I just think Lane Kiffin's really funny.
He
That's
is.
all I was
He's the
getting
best. He's the best online. He's the most online of any SEC coach, and he's the best online. Yeah. I can't remember who told me this. I was talking to someone, and they were giving me the rundown of how Kiffin's social media actually works, and it definitely he does more of it than you think. Like I can't remember who the person is that does it for him. It's a relative or a trusted advisor. I can't remember exactly who, but he himself does do a lot of that as well. So.
I'd assume that catch and release tweet was all Lane.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. And that was obviously planned, right? They knew it was coming. Yeah. I don't think Judkins hits you out of nowhere.
Nah.
That was in the drafts, ready to go.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Exactly.
He had it scheduled.
If I don't know how T-Bob dressed himself today, but nothing he's wearing fits or goes together. It's insane. So wait till you see the shoes. I even have my Brooks. I have like my old man orthopedic Brooks running shoes on.
Somebody earlier in the chat asked if you were wearing your daughter's shirt.
Look, I'm trying to channel all my. I'm trying to channel all the dads from the '70s who used to rock these and smoke Marlboro Lights with like shade. I just needed my orange glasses.
Yeah.
If I had my orange glasses and a cig hanging out my mouth, I'd be looking good, Bo.
Bet you won't light one up in the studio.
Bet you I won't. I need to get.
Actually, I'd be
warm with some shorts. So if I had like some high-waisted shorts and a whistle, I'd be out here coaching, Bo.
Oh, I'll get you some bike shorts.
I got tiny shorts.
You have 2-button bike shorts though.
No,
that's
I do
the
not have
important
2-button bike
detail.
shorts. No, I
like
do
you
not.
having like a little swimsuit that's a 6-incher. That's not the same as the 2 buttons. I bet the Cajun Cannon used to rock the 2-button bikes all the time.
No, he used to rock. He would rock. Like he had these silver Falcons game pants that he just cut super short, and then
that must have been a thing.
His genitals would just be all up in your
That
face,
must have
dude.
been a
Just a
thing.
massive bulge, just staring you down everywhere he went.
My father-in-law had his Louisiana Tech football pants, and same thing, like they were cut off. Like that must have been something they did back in the day.
Well, because think about it, you don't have all the awesome athleisure wear that we have now.
True.
So think about how comfortable football pants are compared to like like cotton underwear or something.
Yeah.
Like it kind of makes sense. River says my orange glasses. No, they're mine now, and I didn't lose them, by the way. I have found them. I've known where they're at for months, and I've had them long enough where the ownership is transferred over to me. Plus, I wore those during the LSU National Championship baseball run, so I have to do that again. We were supposed to talk football here, and this is our most listened to portion of the show.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we kind of dropped the ball there. So why don't we do this?
Would you rather hear about that or Cajun Cannon wearing cutoff shorts?
Cajun Can is canon.
It is a cannon. It's an absolute cannon. Don't get it twisted.
Cajun Cannon.
There you go, Brendan Hupp, Napoleon Dynamite. That's what I believe. That's what Taylor said earlier. I was getting vibes of. We've had Hangover as well.
Yeah.
I feel like if you gave me a paddle, I'd be an extra standing behind Ben Affleck, getting ready to paddle those freshmen. Right? That's not too far off. All right, let's.
No belt is it's a vibe.
Well, because I wasn't planning on tucking it in, and then right before the show, I was like, I should tuck this in, and just really lean into it. And then I did, and I was like, ooh, I kind of love this. Like I need to change the pants, but I like this tucked in as a look.
I didn't even see. Like, are you wearing what jeans or what are you wearing?
Not just the Lulu pants.
Oh, like some sweats?
No. Like the ABCs. They look like the dress pants, but they're not. Basically, over the years, I've slowly amassed 6 or 7 of these, and it's all I wear.
Yeah.
Just too easy. T-Bob looking like he's about to get thrown out of the Brickyard 400. Hell yeah, dude. All right, look, let's do this. And okay, we're gonna recalibrate. Let's go to break. Then when we get back, we'll get into Brian Kelly's comments on Zy Alexander, defensive tackles, Garrett Nussmeier, and more. Keep it locked. OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ooh, I should put the fanny pack on my waist. Yeah, there we go. Good call, Brendan Huff. You know what else is a good call? 225-888-8888. If you get in an accident and you call that number, well, you're going to get somebody who's going to fight for you because you're going to get Gordon. He's going to get it done. He's going to stand up to the big insurance companies and get you what you deserve. You got to get Gordon on social media, and not only will you get great advice on what to do after you get in things like an accident, you'll get great life advice. You'll also see content with some of your favorite athletes. Those athletes on the G team. You'll love LSU Athletics. You'll love Gordon, okay? It's helping support your favorite athletes. Get Gordon. Get it done today.
Not just 225. Any area code in Louisiana, followed by the 888-8888. And they can help you throughout the state. GetGordon.com is the website if you want to find more information about what they can do for you in the courtroom. At GetGordon is always going to be the handle on all major social media. See what they're doing in the community. But you don't have to take this number down. Just always remember the 8. Your area code followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
I'm looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Let's talk some football. As Brian Kelly was sitting down with the Advocate and NOLA.com and answered a lot of their queries. And, of course, a lot of the questioning regarded Garrett Nussmeier. And what are the keys to Garrett Nussmeier succeeding? Now, before we get into what Brian Kelly said, I think we should take another moment and appreciate the setting that Garrett Nussmeier is operating under. Because, Jake, I don't know about you. I feel like there's almost more pressure on him than any player that I can remember in recent memory. The reason being, it's a mixture of team and individual pressure that I think has some unique elements that we haven't necessarily seen before, right? The team aspect is that they're going to be expected to take a step forward in year number 3. Brian Kelly said it for 2 years now. The year 3 would be the year. They have so much positive momentum right now, back-to-back 10-win seasons. Like they would have been expected to take a step forward in year 3 no matter what. But now, with no Nick Saban, are you kidding me?
Right.
The door's wide open, right? So, like, the team has to win, like, 11 games, really, if you want people to be happy. And that puts you in the playoff. Now, granted, maybe you sneak in with 9-3, right? But if you want to guarantee it, 10-2
this year.
Yes, 10. I shouldn't say 11. I should say 10-2. 10-2 would put you in the playoff. Like, it kind of feels like it's 12-team playoff or bust. That's an incredible amount of pressure for a first-year starter to be under from a team standpoint. And then what about individually? You're following up Jaden Daniels, who didn't just win the Heisman, but had the best statistical season of any Heisman winner since like 79. Remember, we looked it up. Nobody even comes close. And so it's a situation where...
Well, while you're thinking, this is the same situation that Miles Brennan came into.
Yeah.
Long time, like LSU football player, never really had his starts.
Very good point.
Actually came in some different times and would have some success, and everybody's like, okay, like you're losing Joe Burrow, and he's one of the best players in college football history, but you do have a veteran player who stuck around LSU. He didn't leave. He didn't go transfer somewhere else. He's been waiting for this moment, and Miles got it. Unfortunately, he has an injury that we literally never seen before, but he was playing well. Certainly in that Mizzou game, he was playing well. So it's really the same thing. Nussmeier is hung around, waited his turn. Could he be the starter? A lot of different places last year, without question, he could have. We've seen flashes of when he's come in. He's played really well, gets everyone excited, has the big arm. So him and Miles Brennan actually have had the same career to this point, and hopefully you don't have an injury that the doctors are like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and look, and Miles was playing well, like not just statistically. Like that Mizzou game, it was really all clicking. It was so much growth from even the Mississippi State game, and unfortunately it all went awry. Here's hoping it doesn't happen with Nuss. What I'm worried about from the purely statistical standpoint, Jake, is that Jaden Daniels was so enjoyable from a spectator standpoint that I worry that large swaths of the LSU fan base may have lost perspective on what a more realistic offense feels like, right? Because Jaden Daniels this year was every third down, you're getting it. Every drive, you're basically scoring a touchdown. Every time you have to have it, there's going to be some incredible deep ball, back shoulder throw that's going to blow your mind. I mean, we sat down with Chase Daniels on Snap yesterday, Chase Daniel, and I definitely recommend go check it out. It was so much fun, dude. But hearing him talk about, and this is a 14-year NFL vet, Heisman finalist, hearing him talk about Jaden's back shoulder throws, he was just kind of flabbergasted by them, by the consistency of them, by how good they were, how hard of a throw it is, and how consistently he can make it. So I do worry about Garrett Nussmeier just from a pure feel standpoint, that he could play really well, but it won't feel maybe even anything close to what you witnessed last year. So you've got the team pressure, you got the individual pressure. I think you raised a very good point as well, Jake, which is that even unlike a Jaden Daniels, where he was a wild card entering the mix, there's expectation on Garrett because he's been looked at for years. He's been watched and kind of groomed by this LSU fan base for years. And so understand, this is a player who, I think has the moxie, the makeup, but don't discount or don't take for granted just how heavy the burden is that Garrett Nussmeier is looking to shoulder this fall.
I will say the thing that's a little bit different, and this isn't throwing shade at Miles, but, Miles had other interests outside of football. Garrett Nussmeier is football.
That's true.
And that's what he's always been. That's how he was raised. His dad's been a quarterback coach in the NFL forever, and that's like really in his DNA. And every single time that he has free time, it's probably something associated with football. And so, like, we're talking about personality, mentality, being able to handle this situation. I don't know that it's going to work out. I feel strongly about it, but I know mentally it's not going to be something that he can't handle, right? Mentally, I think Garrett Nussmeier's always been ready to go. Like, you can't come in an SEC championship game against the number one defense in the country and play like he did if you've got a weak mentality. You have to be strong-minded. You have to have the ultimate belief in yourself. And so, like, I think that gives him an advantage going into this situation, that the expectations and the platform that he's going to be on aren't going to be too big for him mentally.
Yeah, and I would say even look at the bowl game, right? You can't go 98 yards, game on the line, got to have it without that same mentality. Stare down multiple 14-point deficits and find a way to win and get your team that coveted 10th win. So you're right. We have evidence that he has the mentality. The question is, does he have the consistency? And that was Brian Kelly's main point in speaking with NOLA.com, Times-Picayune, and The Advocate, was that's what they're trying to get out of Garrett Nussmeier. And I know that, we don't really belabor the point because I think it's a bit flawed to do so, given the settings in which we've seen him. But you are talking about a guy that, is sub 60% completion for his career. You're talking about a guy who has 7 picks in just 219 attempts. Now, again, to be fair, the one game we saw him in which he knew he was a starter, prepared like a starter, got to play, was Wisconsin, and he was awesome. So that's why I say that's maybe a bit a lot. Like, I don't want you to get too hung up on those numbers. All I'm saying is that going into spring practice, that's the main thing that Brian Kelly and LSU are looking for is just a more consistent, consistent performance from Garrett Nussmeier in terms of decision-making and getting through his progressions and not aborting after his early read.
This is an offensive front that's going to give you that opportunity to be able to go through those reads and be more consistent. You're talking about, Pro Football Focus put it out there. We mentioned it. You've got 2 top 10 tackles in the country, including the number 1 tackle in the country in Will Campbell. We know the interior as well. Like, we know it's going to be solid. So that helps a young quarterback. Even though he's a veteran quarterback because he's been here a long time, still a young quarterback as far as starts. And so it is wild. Like, that's not the position that I'm worried about the most. Now, it's still got to go out there and prove it, but, like, it's a position where you have a guy that you've at least seen behind a really good offensive line against, some pretty good defenses that he's come in against. Now, receiver, like, who's going to step up, running back, that rotation, what that's going to look like, those are bigger questions to me right now than maybe even the quarterback.
I'm very glad that you got Josh Williams at least at that running back position, although during spring he will be limited. But I'm like, yeah, bro, of course. Why? Don't make Josh Williams do spring, dude. That meant a 6-year senior. Do you remember? You would have been a 4th-year senior, but I remember spring ball as a 5th-year senior, just like, that felt like some busy work. You're like, I've done been here before, bro. Let's just, let's get through this thing.
I was a little bit different because of what I talked about earlier. Like, in 1 year they brought in
that's
two
true. I guess
5-star running backs and a
your playing time
4-star.
was threatened. Your playing time was
So,
threatened.
like, even though I was a leading rusher my junior year
That's fair.
and guys left, I still felt like I've got to go win this job again in the spring.
That's fair. I guess the point is that Josh Williams, I mean, he's going to play, right? His
true.
playing time is not threatened. So if you want to chill with him during spring, I'm fine with that. Last thing on Nussmeier here, one interesting tidbit that Kelly had was talking about practice, right? And how
talking about practice.
Basically, like, that's where this all starts, achieving that consistency, right? And he was like, yeah, and look, I think when you're the backup, it's impossible to be locked in every day. And I think I think there's a lot of truth to that, right? Because at the end of the day, you kind of know you're not playing, you're not going to get the reps. Like, it's just not the same as when you know you are the guy. Now that you are the guy, you have to every single day. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect every day, but you have to give everything you can every single day. And Garrett, because there's no hiding.
Right.
And Garrett Nussmeier now knows that, and he now knows that everything through that team is going to flow through him. So I believe in him, and we'll see. But again, recognize the pressure he's under and recognize that the goal for this spring will be to achieve a more consistent and even performance.
And also having Swan there from Vandy coming over, I feel like that's important because you've got another veteran in that room. You can go through, and you've heard me say this 1,000 times, there's backup quarterbacks like Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel played 14 years in the league, played 5 games.
Yeah.
Played in 5 games in 14 years. Why did he last 14 years? Because he was always there for the starter, and he was always somebody that the starter was going to talk to. And I had some great ones that I was fortunate enough to play with, and Billy Volek and Charlie Whitehurst and Phillip Rivers trusted their opinion. He could come to the sidelines, he could have a conversation with them, and that is so important for any starting quarterback in the NFL. And different quarterbacks will, like, handpick their backup, and you go to a new place, and if that guy's a free agent, you're like, hey, I want you to sign him.
Yep.
Because having that voice, and also, like, pushing you a little bit as well. Like a guy that started SEC games.
Swan means Nuss can't get completely complacent.
Yeah, and so I like having a veteran quarterback, and nothing against the young guys that they have on the roster as well, but they haven't started any games in the SEC. Swan has, and so I think that's going to be a valuable resource for Nuss in the spring.
Well, and that's great depth in case, the worst does come to pass, to have someone with Swan's experience there. So very exciting. Spring ball right around the corner. I do want to remind you, AgTemp Baton Rouge, if you want to take control of your comfort zone, agtempbr.com and all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. You want to go to AgTemp February 28th, okay? We actually have a 29th this year, which means you now have 2 days to take advantage of free Brary, in which AgTemp, if you buy a whole home generator, you're going to get $1,500 off, and you're going to get a free surge protector to go along with it. So have them out at your home, get that estimate, see what they can offer you, and just understand that in doing so, I mean, this is something that, like, I can tell you every single day about it, the service to the highest degree and the incredible customer reviews. But again, it doesn't quite, like anything else in life, hearing about it is one thing, experiencing it is much more impactful. So just have AgTemp out one time for an issue. Just have them out once, and you're going to be blown away, and then you're going to understand why I feel so passionately about them. AgTemp Baton Rouge, agtempbr.com. No, speaking of the maybe most worrisome position group, that would, with a bullet, be interior defensive line, and I want to get there in a second. Real quick, though, some other news pieces to come out of this. Zy Alexander going to miss spring ball, of course, tearing his ACL last fall, but they do expect him to be full go come summertime. No one else going to miss spring, though. They did say that Miles Frazier had a scope on his knee, but he should be ready, and that Josh Williams may be limited. And again, like I said, I mean, who really cares at that point? Josh Williams going to be just fine. I saw you kind of furrow your brow, Taylor, when I mentioned Williams earlier. What was that about?
Not that he needs the work or anything. Like, we know what he can do. Caleb Jackson might be your only running back during spring practice if that's the case.
That's true.
Because Trey Holly's not going to be there. Caden Durham doesn't get there till the fall. I mean, I get it. You got walk-ons out there, but as far as, like, big-time reps, it's Caleb Jackson and no one else right now. So it's just a little concerning. Not Williams. It's just like you don't want to overwork Jackson and then get him an injury at the same time.
That's true. Man, if you're one of those walk-ons, man, take advantage,
That's how Williams is where he is.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Take advantage and try to maybe crack some playing time. So hard to do at a major school when you're not one of the scholarship players that they're invested in. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's get into the defensive line for a little bit, and then we still got to talk some Saints as we got to make some tough decisions on some of your favorite New Orleans Saints. As always, you get involved, youtube.com/1045 ESPN, and hit the like button, sub, all that good stuff. Keep it locked right here. More OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Join me in the All-Star family. Maybe in a mini V, maybe not. It's up to you. Sienna, Tundra, Tacoma, RAV4, Highlander, Sequoia, if you want like a luxury SUV. It's all there at All-Star. And they got them new. They got Toyota certified used vehicles where you still get warranty. They got rental cars, a cheaper per day rental price than traditional rental companies. And check out leasing options, right? That's what I did for a while when that's just what fit me at the time. And as always, All-Star Service Center, all makes and models welcome. They're the best. You mentioned OTB, Jake, T-Bob, whatever. You get $100 towards that deductible. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Go to the website today to find your new vehicle, no matter what your needs are, no matter what your family's needs are. They're going to have something available for you. T-Bob, you might need to take those headphones off as you get ready to do the push-ups. If you're looking for a full-size SUV, van, truck, they've got you covered. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 29.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Plam, plam.
All right, before we get to any
Plam.
more LSU football, and I know T-Bob's ready to talk defensive tackles here. He's not going to do this himself, so I'll do it. Go to Best of 225. You can go to 225batonrouge.com. You can go just search it in Google, Best of 225, and go down to Best Radio Personality and vote for T-Bob Hebert, because there's some other names in there that you might recognize, but let's be honest. If we're talking Best Radio Personality, nobody has a better personality than my man T-Bob Hebert. It's not even close. Murphy, Sam, and Jody, 3 people in one category. How's that even fair?
Unfair.
I mean, you don't have all 4 of us there.
If I figure out that you voted for Murphy, Sam, and Jody, I will kick you in your nuts when I see you in real life. And if you're a woman, I'll kick you in your ovaries, okay?
I'm not even going to try to explain that to you.
I can't. Well, I'll kick you in your vagina.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
But, okay, it's radio personality.
Yeah. Yes.
So why are there 3 of them? And
Yeah,
it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Personalities, IES.
No. Our Ott Father's in here. If Ott Father's in here, then it should be Ott and Hanny.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, I love
you get
like
Jimmy.
3 people.
Or it's like, why isn't it me and you? If like,
Yeah, like, why- right.
Well, no, I want it to be you. Like,
No,
it's,
no, but what I'm saying is,
but
what I'm
like
saying
T-Bob
is
said,
like,
shouldn't one of them be up
yeah,
there?
yeah, like why?
it should be
like,
Murphy, Sam, or Jody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
They should
Which
be-
I can't even tell you who of the 3 has the best personality.
Me neither.
Yeah, we have
Sam,
the
for
best
sure.
personality.
We're gonna see Murphy, Sam, and Jody at the LAB Awards and be like, hey, like, y'all say a lot of stuff about us. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you got to
keep my
stand
name
on
out your
business.
mouth.
Like, yeah, we will continue to do it.
Yeah, what of it?
What are you going to do about it? Your name is Murphy.
Give him a little
I got to add that to the list of untough names.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta
I
go
feel
in
like
there.
there's probably like an Irishman named Murphy.
Oh no,
Dropkick
no,
Murphys.
dude, Murphy's a tough name.
I thought of a name the other
Dropkick
day,
Murphys.
T-Bob, that I regretfully did not mention on that list.
What?
Gilbert. Gilbert's a bad name.
Yeah,
Gilbert's
Gilbert's
not
not a very idea. Murphy, though, I agree. There's too many tough Irishmen named Murphy.
I used to have a cat named Murphy. It was a girl,
that
but
just-
didn't know at the time.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure if my cat was a boy or a girl, and I felt bad for my guy because they had to give him an ultrasound because he was like so fat and his little cat genitals are so tiny that they like the vet couldn't even find it without like advanced technique.
That's
I was
brutal.
I was like, damn, Bo, it's
tough
all
day.
good, dude. Come up in here, bro. You fine. He's fine. He's about to die, man.
Aw,
Bums me out.
what's his name?
Gerald.
You've had Gerald for
Since 09.
I was about to say.
I found him on the
Hey.
streets, and they think he was like probably 1 or 2. So yeah, man, he's been. I remember the first night I brought him home. I had a piece of string cheese in my pocket, and we locked eyes, and I fed him the string cheese, and I was basically like, "You're mine now." It was on a whim.
I love that.
And I brought him home, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. I saw this cat. He seemed cool." And she's like, and I'll never forget this. We were just dating at the time, but she said, he's going to be alive like when we have kids. Like, this is a commitment. And I remember my head being like, that's crazy. No way, dude. You're tripping. Like, that's just, no. I can't even fathom that from so many different angles. And sure enough, he made it to the birth of every single one of my children. And the crazy thing, he almost ran away. He almost ran away night 1.
Yeah.
We were outside, and he got out a hole in the fence, and he was on the edge of the thicket.
Yeah.
Right? And he could have taken off into the thicket, and he stopped at the edge, and he let me walk up on him and grab him, and he never ran into it.
Yeah.
And then so, the rest is history now.
Ryan
But now
wants
he's
to
got
know.
like mouth cancer, and so, we're going to have to put him down soon. Sucks.
It'll be a tough day.
Even though my wife's actively trying to put him down like way earlier than I think he
Caitlin,
needs
will you
to.
chill out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Chill out,
Like, chill.
Caitlin.
Like, you are a heartless,
She's like, I think it's time.
stone cold witch.
Yeah.
Relax.
Come on, Caitlin, what are we doing here? Ryan wants to know, why did you have cheese in your pocket? Do you even listen to the show?
Yeah, what do you mean?
This man
what are we doing?
has cheese biscuits in his pocket at any time.
I wish more than anything else I could bust out a string cheese out of my fanny pack right now. Unfortunately, I don't have one. But I mean, when you're talking about the most portable snacks, string cheese has to be near the top of the list.
Yeah. It doesn't take up a lot of room.
Nope.
It's actually pretty filling. It's not a
plastic.
bad snack.
It's wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, so it's protected.
So it's already good to
Now,
go.
it's supposed to be refrigerated, so you have about 8 to 10 hours before maybe it starts
Really?
to get a
You
little...
can't eat room temperature string cheese?
I mean, you can probably, but I'm sure there's a time period where you don't want to.
Even if it's in plastic?
Yeah, T-Bob, I'm saying like for the restroom situation, knowing you a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
feel like you want to wait like 12 to 14 hours.
You're
That thing's
probably
been
right.
sweating inside that plastic for a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
I got one of those little like charcuterie snack packs from the gas station the other day. That was some nasty cheese, Bo.
Yeah.
It was like a little juicy, a little melty.
Yeah.
A lot of liquid, which didn't make me happy. I don't like liquid associated with my cheese too often, unless it's like a fresh parm.
Also, like if you're buying that at you said a gas station.
Yeah.
That's on you. Like that's.
I think the
life's
gas
about
station,
choices and decisions, and you made a bad one.
I think the gas station charcuterie packs have come a long way. I
They
think they're
have,
pretty good,
but
I
they
think they're
still
pretty- it's a
aren't
nice
where they
little
need to
It's a
be.
healthier little snack.
Are they where they need to be though?
No, obviously not, because the cheese freaked me out.
You bought sushi while you were there as well?
No, but I do love. This is a home field shirt, by the way, Da. I do love shout out home field. I do love.
Grocery store.
Grocery store
Yeah, I know you
sushi.
do.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rouse's has some pretty good stuff there.
You know, it's all the same and it's all delicious, right? Like I've never really felt that this grocery store has better sushi than that grocery store does. They're just all, they're all tasty. But actually, no, you're right. Rouse's has the best. You're right.
I'm trying to help you out.
my
I'll
bad.
even do Rouse's.
Yeah, my bad. I did not pick up on that. This LSU defensive line, Jake.
Oh yeah, Bo. Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle. We're just talking interior here. I don't think I'm exaggerating. Thinking back at all my time covering LSU, I don't know that I've seen a worse position group. And I don't necessarily mean from a talent standpoint, right? Because you got a guy like Jacoby and Guillory in there. You got they're okay, but it's kind of a talent and just a makeup of, okay, who are the actual bodies that you're going to be relying on? Like the only groups that maybe come close are that one linebacker year where you hadn't recruited a linebacker in like 2 years around 2015, but even then I think you still had good frontline starters. Like, I don't know, Taylor, you're kind of nerdy about this stuff. I don't know about you, Alondra, your historical knowledge of like LSU depth, but I just don't. Here it is. Let's just get into it. The LSU defensive line right now, you're going to have 5. You know when it was worse? When you had 8 scholarship O-linemen for that spring.
Yeah.
Like, that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. But this is not very excusable either. You have 5 scholarship defensive tackles for spring ball. One of them is Jacoby and Guillory. Great. Guillory, solid, starter, good. Then you get to Jalen Lee. Okay. Really a backup defensive tackle in the SEC. You would say a rotational guy. And then here's the next 3. A junior college transfer in Shone Washington, which maybe he ends up being really good, but still a JUCO transfer.
Yeah.
A freshman early enrollee in Demarion Johnson, and then an offensive lineman in Kimo Makianole that you just moved over from offensive line. That's your next 3. So your starters are one guy who's probably arguably a legit starter, and then a backup, and then it's just completely unproven after that. It's a JUCO transfer, a freshman early enrollee, and an offensive lineman. That's bad, Bo.
Yeah, and
this offensive line is going to kill them in the spring.
Yeah, they're going to maul them a little bit. And just because of the numbers, again, not even because of the talent, but just because of the numbers, and you're trying to keep up. And the offensive line can just continue to rotate players in there. The depth is incredibly stronger on that side of the football. And, there's not like a lot of reinforcements coming. Like this,
no.
Like that's the other issue. Like you've got some freshmen that will come in, but
you don't want to rely on freshmen though.
No, and
not
you got
position.
So you're going to have to see what's available in the second window. Remember, like if I'm not mistaken, the SEC rule is still in place. If you're in the second portal window, you can't go to another SEC school and be available. So it's got to come out of the conference.
Oh, really?
I believe if it's the second window, not the first one, but the second window. So you're going to have to go outside of conference. It's why we were talking about like late in the portal window. Remember, we were like, hey, this guy from Houston or this guy from Louisville's in the portal. Like we were trying to find anybody because you just need bodies. And now you need better ones, but like you don't have any depth. And like this is something like having conversations with some of the LSU defensive staff, they are well aware of. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to get through spring practice. And that's why you move an offensive lineman over there. So T-Bob, they're going to have to go, or I think if you're actually a graduate, you can go from SEC to SEC. So there's different rules. So
that makes sense. Graduate transfer.
You'll have the ability to add, but what is really going to be out there? What quality body after spring practice?
I mean, bro, that's what I'm saying though. If it's JUCO, early enrollee, and an offensive lineman, I'll take anything. You just need bodies at this point. Like, so just anyone.
And it continues to make it a head-scratching move while you had some of these defensive linemen, a Mason Smith.
Well, that's what Big Fave just texted us.
Even a Jordan Jefferson, who played well at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
I think he's a pro. I don't know at what level. I don't know if he's going to be the back end of the roster. Probably so. He feels like he could have come back and had some big moments in an LSU uniform. And so you had guys that, in my opinion, could have benefited from another year coming back. I think a lot of us would agree there. And they decided to go pro, so you weren't really counting on this. Like, nobody had Mason Smith going pro after this year, or Jordan Jefferson, who had another year that he could have taken advantage of.
And
Mekhi Wingo.
You could have had Mekhi Wingo back.
Yeah.
Big Fave Texans, I still feel like Mason Smith left too early, wasn't really proven, and he's in the draft. I mean, I think Mason Smith took a massive financial risk leaving. Like, I don't know that he's going to make an NFL team or that he'll make as money even on an early NFL contract as what he was going to make in college. But we'll see. But yeah, that's the most disappointing part. It's like if you had somehow pulled off the Bo Davis move earlier, which you couldn't have because Texas in the playoff and whatnot, would Mekhi Wingo and Mason Smith have stayed?
I think Mekhi Wingo would have.
If you had announced the Matt House stuff earlier, would they have stayed? Could you have sped up this timeline? Because you're talking about all of a sudden it going from a weakness to a strength if you would have had those two back. And how about if you're Bo Davis, you had Tavondre Sweat and Byron Murphy, and now you've got this crew. Oh, but you're paid $1.5 million, so you better be good. You know, it's like, what? Bo Davis is going to have to try to earn that big contract here in year number one. So it's scary, man. It is by far the biggest red flag and the biggest Achilles heel that this team has. Here's to hoping those guys develop. And on McIniole, I'm not trying to be negative, but I've never seen the O-line to D-line thing work out.
Yeah, you made a good point. Yeah, you made a good point here in the rundown. We've seen Lyle Hitt, Carnell Stewart, Will Blackwell. We have seen defensive linemen go to the other side and start on national championship type teams. We've never really seen the other. I'm sure there's one example. I'm sure we could find one example. I'll think about it during the break. But to your first portion of this that you started with, in 2015, LSU's linebackers, they had Kendall Beckwith, they had Deion Jones, and they had Duke Riley and Lamar Lewis. But then the backups, like outside of those four linebackers, and remember, Duke wasn't really Duke Riley until his senior year. Yeah. Like, you had some names that I just don't even really recognize.
See, but the difference there is at least you still, I mean, there's a couple NFL guys at the top of that list there. Whereas now I like Jacoby and Guillory, but outside of that.
Yeah, like this depth chart from the 2015 season, every position, I'm talking about every position has at least three deep. There's two positions at linebacker, they only had two players. So, like, the depth wasn't there, but you're right. Like, I mean, Deion Jones played a very long time. Duke Riley's still playing in the NFL.
Yeah,
Kendall Beckwith, if he would have been healthy, I think he would have had a long NFL career.
Is Kendall Beckwith not in the league?
No.
How long did he end up making it?
Probably vested.
A lot of injuries, though.
A ton of injuries.
Really?
Yeah, he couldn't stay healthy.
It was one of the best high school football players I've ever seen in my entire life.
He was with the Bucks, right?
Yeah, that's where they drafted him.
I watched him. He went to Westphal, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
I watched him play Zachary one time, and I watched him throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and have 15 tackles.
Yeah.
In the same game. I was like, oh my God.
Like, when he was at LSU, I'm like, why is this guy not playing? Because like, you'd hear the high school lore there, and then he got to campus. You're like, yeah, this is a grown man.
So I don't know. Here's to hoping that Bo Davis, look, you paid $1.5 million. Like, nobody's going to feel bad for you. You got to figure out a way to do it. But, man, it's going to be a challenge.
I know we're up against the clock. Could you move somebody from edge to defensive tackle?
Yeah, they did talk about that. They said, who was the other name?
Right?
He mentioned Ahmad Bro, but that's concerning to me. He's 255 pounds.
Ew.
So think about how bad it is right now to where you're like, hey, this guy at 255, he's going to have to slide down.
Yeah, he's
great edge
strong,
player.
For sure. I mean, I watched him play, man. His hands are just boom. I hit you in the chest, and that's probably one of his strengths. But 255.
Just put Harold Perkins there, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Savion could kick down, I think, before anybody. I mean,
Perry
he's a big body.
Perry Shan's 285 at defensive.
That would be he
can kick down as well.
Going to have to play some.
He's long because remember he would put his hand up. He batted down so many balls last year.
All right. Let me get back. Let's close out hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org. Hey, check it out. Central Plumbing's hiring right now. So if you're a licensed plumber and you want top wages, you want great bennies, you want to go check out Central Plumbing, send your resume to Jay, that's Jay, at centralplumbing.org. Immediate positions are available. So, maybe you're not happy where you're currently working. Just see what Central Plumbing offers you, okay? And what if you're an apprentice? Well, they have a great apprenticeship school to get you across that finish line. They want your resume as well. Again, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org.
Hey, we are going to get you some aspirin.
Jeez.
Go to centralplumbing.org. There you can find all the information, what we tell you about every single day. Sure, it's emergencies, but also if you're looking to remodel at your home or business, they have got you covered. And we always tell you about going tankless. Go tankless today with a tankless water heater. Never run out of hot water. Again, get that set up by calling 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Value Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $17,500 off new 23 1500 Bighorn trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $17,500 off new Ram 1500 trucks. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, shout out Ridgewood Middle School.
Welcome back. Is that where? Is this Miss Elliott?
It's Evie.
Oh. Eve?
Yeah, it's Eve.
You remember Eve?
Yes, dude. She was like massive back in the day. Became a super famous
Yeah.
fashion designer as well. Like she was an odd. What is Eve doing? I bet you she's like uber successful,
Yeah.
just doing something in the background. She had like a massive entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
I don't
She
know
a
what
little
she's
paw
doing.
prints,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Eve.
Gwen
I haven't thought about
Stefani's
Eve
in that
a
song.
long time now, dude. Again, I show my musical ignorance, so thinking that was Missy Elliott.
Okay.
They
She
sound
did,
similar.
She did play a Missy Elliott song earlier, so
I
maybe
did,
that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
was in your
And
head.
they sound similar.
Yeah, you don't have to say that because they don't. It's just you're trying to make him feel better.
I was.
It's okay.
Alondra put this in yesterday, and we never got to it. Where did I hide it out at? The new snake.
Oh yeah,
that
new
was
snake
discovered.
alert.
New
Yeah.
snake alert. New snake.
New anaconda.
Who dis?
I can't I don't do Facebook a lot. I only use it for my football camp, and so like I'll get on there sometimes to see how many people are signing up and all those different things. And like every time I get on, somebody has a picture of a snake. What kind of snake is this? And everybody always says a dead one.
Yeah. I mean, people love that joke. A new species of anaconda was discovered in the rainforest, Jake. They found a 20-foot-long female.
They don't want none.
And anecdotal evidence in the region says that the anacondas can get up to 25 feet and 1,100 pounds. Yeah. They've decided to name it the T-Bob.
That's when you hit the...
Yeah.
No, she's holding up. She can't because she's holding up.
Yeah, I had
she's
both
done
my
some
hands
time
up.
ago.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Good morning. It's a 9 a.m. on Wednesday, February 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 74. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll be joined by Devin Hold the Mayo at 9 a.m. Then we'll talk some NFL Combine. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome in. Doing things a little different this Wednesday. As normally at 9 a.m. on Monday, we got our guy, Hold the Mayo, a.k.a. Devin Snow, coming on for some spread lines. Push back to Wednesday today, so do it right now. Dev, what's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Looking at this snake, bro. Looking at this snake video.
It's a big snake.
Yeah, it's a huge snake, but this guy, bro. This guy, man. Who's this guy, man? Looks like he just opened somebody up a savings account at Regions. You know, he just like, do you think this is real?
The snake video? Yeah, I think so. Well, I actually don't know the exact video you're referencing. I just saw an article about the snake. I did not see the text me the video that you're talking about here.
He's dressed as like a banker down there in the water, and he's just like snorkeling and right by this 26-foot snake. He's right by the head. You know, the snake don't even want to do nothing to him. So I don't know. I guess it's just a friendly snake.
I mean, I can't imagine that a snake would want to eat a fully grown adult, right? Like, you'd have to be pretty hungry to get to that point. A child, gobble it up in a second. Easy pickings. Like, we talked about it the other day. Veal tastes good, right? Like baby cows. I imagine to an animal that a child would taste better than a fully formed adult with, like, years of stress and anxiety and wear and tear on the muscles. Whereas if it's a little child, you got those nice soft ligaments, that sweet, tasty young flesh. So I would not be very threatened as an adult by the anaconda.
Jacob, you think about that all the time, huh?
Feels like it.
This is now the 3rd time this week that I think we've talked about child sacrifice on the show.
No way. You got a mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, that's true. RB&R Day. This Monday, you went out there to St. Rock. And Deb, when you were in the bathroom, you're doing your bathroom tour, as is tradition, when doing the RB&R videos. But you called into question if anybody uses the changing tables in the male bathroom. And I would like to say a hearty thank you to all of the businesses that put changing tables in their men's restrooms, okay? Yep. It's actually one of my favorite parts about Disney. Yes, it's gross. Don't get me wrong. But it's way less gross than having to change on the floor somewhere, change it on a sink countertop. And you can't change in public because people get freaked out by it.
Yeah.
And so, you end up having to use that thing.
My thing is I would just have to keep like a little mini bottle of 409 on me or something, dude, because that thing is behind me.
It's nasty.
You know?
It's nasty, bro. I just make myself feel better because they write like antimicrobial surface or something. So I'm like, oh, it's cleaning itself.
Just get a little wiping and just wipe it down real quick.
It's cleaned itself, obviously.
Certainly if you're dealing like Quad Bob, that's fine. Maybe Alice and Odie a little different, but Quad Bob, just get up there.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe put a little pad on it or something. You know what I'm saying? Make it look
I think that's funny because, like, the first child definitely, right, had a backpack that had, like, a changing pad ready to drop at a moment's notice, multiple bottles on deck, diapers, wipes. Nowadays, I'll like stick a diaper in the back pocket and just stuff a couple wipes in and be like, all right, let's go. I think we're prepared to leave the house.
Dry ass wipes by the time you get there.
But yeah, it's funny how that works. But I was actually very pleased to see a changing table in there. And as always, the RBNR video.
Dev, I'm going to be honest with you. Like the video made me follow them on Instagram. I'm like, this place looks pretty.
St. Rock's cool, dude.
This place looks pretty cool. Like I had never been there before. Like now I'm a follower of what they're doing there because you got a lot of different food. I mean, obviously it was a Monday RBNR day, but I mean, you had a spread in front of you.
Oh yeah, there's probably like 8 different like ethnicities of food there. It was absolutely amazing. Like the Vietnamese station, whatever he was putting out, dude, it was straight like 10 out of 10 fire. Like he did. Listen to this. This is like one of the most innovative ideas I've ever heard of. Wonton pulled pork nachos, like on wontons, which is a game changer because what happened?
God, that
what
sounds
happened
good, dude.
Put wontons in the place of like regular chips. You are eliminating the sogginess.
The sogginess. Dude, Dev, you kept going back. You kept going to other food, but you found your way back to those nachos.
I'm so hungry.
How do you eliminate the sogginess? I feel like that's always been a thing, right? No, wonton nachos, dude. Oh, my God.
Dev, have you ever had Viet Cajun crawfish?
Wait, say it again?
Have you ever had Viet Cajun crawfish? I want to say it maybe started in the Houston area, but it's I know around here, I believe Chow Yum Fat has it when it's in season.
Yeah.
But it's just it's kind of crawfish with a little Vietnamese twist, like some lemongrass and some other stuff. It's very good. I guess I'm just wondering this place may have it when maybe when the prices go down a little bit or something. Just worth checking out. Just put it on your radar.
Okay,
try to hunt down some Viet Cajun crawfish.
Yeah, no, I'll check it out. And look, man, they had an oyster bar. I mean, seriously, that was one of the best, food experiences of my life, man. It was
like
incredible.
how White Star used to be over here, where you had a bunch of great restaurants all in one little shared space. But I don't know what happened here. It didn't
like the
end
red
up
beans
working
were the
out.
worst thing. The red beans. And I don't know how you mess. I really don't. I don't. Like people always ask me, "Hey, you ever run into bad red beans?" I'm like, dude, I hope not, because it's like, how do you mess up red beans, right? But
yeah, they're just differing levels of good. Right, it's a very it's a high floor sort of food,
right?
Which I love a good high floor food.
Yeah, they taste like she had chicken broth in them or something. I don't know what happened. Maybe she just put something in the wrong pot. I don't know.
You never. I mean, hey, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. Was it a bad day? Is that just how it is? Because everybody can't be on every day. Like everybody's gonna have bad days. But and by the way, I don't want anybody getting mad at me. I don't know if that actually originated in Houston, right? I know there's massive Vietnamese populations down the bayou, and so maybe it originated there. I don't take my word for it.
Couple things. There's a lot of talk going on about the daddy long legs. I did want to confirm something on the radio. I know everybody's seeing a lot of those big bugs right now that do nothing. They flying around your house, inside your house.
Yeah, I thought they killed mosquitoes, Dev.
That is in fact false. Oh. That is in fact false, and that's been confirmed. Fox 8 actually confirmed it yesterday. They do not
confirmed by me.
I
confirmed this yesterday.
We talk about, but why are we calling it, dude? Yeah, Alondra's coming.
No free shout outs, Fox.
All right. Wait, but why do we call mosquito hawks, Deb? I've been telling my kids for the past 2 weeks. I've been like Mr. Miyagi catching them, not crushing them, catching them with kind of like the cage hands and releasing them outside, thinking that they were out here controlling my mosquito population.
Yeah. No, not at all. Never seen them eat one either. That's another thing. Like, who's ever seen one of these things?
Yeah, true.
Eat a mosquito that's never had, and they quite possibly are maybe the horniest flies like on the earth.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, they reproduce in massive numbers, and then they just die. They just fall on the ground.
Yeah. I'm going to start carrying around a fly swatter like my grandma did. Like my grandma had one like on deck, ready to go always, a little fly swatter. Yeah, and it's if we were acting up, we get the fly swatter as well. But I'm just going to start carrying one around because they are everywhere.
I kind of want one of those.
They still sell those?
One of those salt guns. You seen those?
Okay, see, that seems like okay.
It's a little much.
It's a little much.
And I don't
fly swatter's a little old school.
I don't want to be shooting salt around the house, but it would be pretty fun to just be like smoking them things.
It is kind of messed up how they misled us, though, man, because we really did keep these things alive.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking, hey, man, they helping us out.
And just because the name, right? Like I never questioned it. I never read it anywhere. I never looked it up. I just always heard it was called a mosquito hawk. And so I immediately assumed that that's what it did.
I'm like, hawks kill. It's called a mosquito hawk.
Exactly.
Certainly they kill mosquitoes. They hunt like a hawk.
Dude.
They don't.
It's like when you watch UFC and you see a guy with the last name Dos Santos, like you think he's going to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not.
Yeah, you think Ortiz? Oh yeah, sure. He's gonna win.
They're actually called crane flies.
Yeah, I know. That's what somebody else said in the chat yesterday. So I'm done with them completely. I hate those bugs now. I'm done. Get out of
Which
here.
they never said crane flies.
Never
All
heard
throughout
crane
the
fly.
90s, early 2000s. They just made that up yesterday.
Dev, what? Real quick, we get what else is going down in spread quarters. But how about the Pels last night, bro?
Let's go, pals.
Let's
Yeah,
go, baby.
Yeah, we had a 2-game losing streak. So yeah, no, it was nice to get a win. And then we got to play the Pacers tonight. I got Antonio Daniels coming on my podcast tomorrow too. So it should be a big week for the Pels.
Wait, who's coming? Who's
Antonio
coming? On?
AD.
Oh, let's go, dude. Sorry, I got distracted because now Carly's in the chat saying my husband got his master's from LSU Ag in insect studies and science, and they kill mosquitoes. She says. I don't
So I'm
know,
supposed to
dude,
believe
bro.
her husband over every
Over
other
Google?
online source.
Yeah, take a video, Carl. Take a video
Yeah,
of it.
let me
Carl,
see that.
let's see a video.
Yeah, I need
agree.
proof.
I agree. Proof or
Get
get
him
the hell out.
to get a hawk
Yeah.
and a mosquito, put them in a room together, and then I'll believe you.
Now, Scott Dice says they do eat mosquito larvae, which we discussed again, but it was found to have no actual population control. It's not like they're just eating all the larvae.
It's anatomically
Out here.
impossible for them to eat mosquitoes.
And a what?
Anatomically impossible.
Write that one down.
I think
if it was real, Dr. Seuss would have made a book on it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's not real, man. It's fake.
Daniel Blunt wants me to ask you about your partner selling plasma.
Okay, yeah. One of my buddies is selling. Yeah, this is so
we've
weird.
all been there in college, right?
Yeah, in college I did, yes. In college I absolutely toyed and explored with the idea of selling plasma, and the athletic department told me I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
Dude, the only time I heard about plasma my whole life was plasma TVs up until last week. Like I didn't know I didn't know people were doing this, but they literally selling
balling on a
inside.
budget, Dev.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, man, I've been down bad before, bro, but I can honestly say I've never been down bad enough to where I sold my insides. You know, I don't do that.
Easy money though, you know. Hey, does your plasma like
Go cut some grass?
Does your plasma replace itself?
I don't know. I never went through
Like,
with
do
it.
we have a limited supply of plasma, or do we create more and then it just levels off at a certain point? Because if we create more, wouldn't we just like overflow with
it
plasma?
replenishes.
It does,
Dude, it's like the CBD of your blood, pretty
Bro,
much.
That sounds like that sounds like a money printer to me. If you get unlimited plasma, I mean, what is that? Just free money?
Yeah, there's also something you can sell, T-Bob, that you have an
Exactly.
unlimited amount of.
Exactly.
Not me.
Yeah, you do that
Not
too.
anymore.
That's true.
Nobody wants these sperms.
That's true.
They are dead in the water.
That's true.
You got
Yeah,
no babies left in
My
them.
buddy told me about this while we were getting ready for Nudie the Nutra to come into my house, and I was just blown away by it, dude. Because I was like, you know, we about to have this Nutra walk in, and you just telling me you selling your blood like that. You know, I don't know.
It's a low moment. It's a low moment to be hawking blood, for sure, for sure. But you do what you gotta do, dude.
Yeah.
I think I too wanted it just so I could buy, I think, like a 360 game or something.
I thought you were going to say a flat, a natty light or something.
No. Those were like $10. We could still kind of pull those off.
We can't leave on this. We gotta. I've never thought about selling my blood. Not even when I was like in my low 20s. You know, it's just I didn't even know you could do it like that.
Now Carly is claiming that mosquito hawks suck the blood out of mosquitoes and suck out their innards. I just don't know. I don't know about any of this. Wait, how was it getting to hang out with Nudie? Nutty?
Dude, super dope. Yeah, it was cool, man.
So
He's
this
like
is
a
a
little
pet
dog.
Nutra-rat.
Yeah, he's like a little dog, dude. He just ate the whole time, bro. Like he was eating a bunch of grapes, sweet potatoes. Dude, you see this guy eat a corn on the cob? His hands are like.
Does he hold it?
Yeah.
It looks like you holding one.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. Like it's just like human hands. He ate the corn and he just threw it on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's crazy, actually. Also, this Nutra-rat's got to be living the life, dude. If he's eating sweet potatoes, grapes, and corn. All his partners are out here like trash diving, like doing whatever they do, digging into the crust and of the bayous, trying to find whatever food they can.
Getting hit by cars, you know, all those people done went through life, and he's like the grand marshal of a parade.
Yeah.
You know, like really living the best life a Nutra-rat could live.
And Louisiana still pays you for NutriTales, right? because they screw with the what's the word I'm looking for?
They invasive species or whatever.
And then they screw with the coast with the land. It's like land erosion. They lead to land erosion. Like they break down, they dig tunnels underneath, they break down the land. I don't know why I can't think of the word that I'm trying to find.
Yeah, no, but no doubt. But I mean, a lot of things do that. You know, I don't know. I'm not on either side. I don't really care. You know, I just had the new track come to the house. I thought that was cool because I never been like up close and personal with a neutral. I didn't even know you could do that.
I think you can be on Nudi's side, but also still be on the side of killing nutria in general. I don't know. I mean, Nudie may feel differently about that, but I think as a human, I feel like that's probably I think that's fine.
Yeah, no, but I mean, overall, you would think he'd be like a wild dude. No, he was super chill. Like
that is crazy.
Yeah, he's like.
Was he like trained to the point? Okay, kind of like because cats aren't really trained, but they're super chill. But he couldn't would he obey verbal commands?
All right, so he wasn't really responding to his name, but like when he went to go eat, try to nibble on one of the Ys, you go and he immediately stopped eating. I stopped eating at the Y.
No way, dude. Oh my god. Yeah,
he's just better.
Coastal erosion from eating the grass in the wetlands. Philip Pixie Sprite says, I grew up calling dragonflies mosquito hawks. Dragonflies do eat mosquitoes. Maybe that's where the confusion lies. Maybe so. And as you know,
I do believe that.
I love dragonflies, dude. Awesome bug. You know they're the fastest flying insect in the world?
The dragonfly?
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, gets up to 30 miles an hour.
What is our numbers on dragonflies right now? Because I feel like I don't see a lot.
I haven't seen a lot either right now. Maybe they're out of season or something right now.
Okay. Because it's been a while.
How about this? Yeah. In forward flight at max speed, a dragonfly can travel 100 body lengths in a second. I'm 6 foot tall. Put that in a human perspective.
You're taller than 6 foot.
Whatever the point. Round numbers. Numbers.
Okay.
That would be me going 600 feet in a second.
Yeah.
That's the Flash. Like that's the you are superhuman fast at that point.
I don't believe
you remember that.
A horsefly is the fastest insect.
You remember that era when everybody was, when you were a kid, you were first grabbing a dragonfly for the first time? I mean, what a time. You know what I'm saying? You had to grab them by a certain spot. I think it was the wings?
I don't know if I've ever grabbed dragonflies before, actually.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
I've never really killed them either.
We used to try to catch lightning bugs in a jar.
Yeah, I remember lightning bugs in a jar for sure.
Yeah.
No, Alondra, it's not the fastest insect.
It is.
No, it's not.
They go up to 90 miles per hour.
The fastest flying insect, dragonflies.
I just don't believe any of that.
Dragonfly goes up to 35 miles per hour. The ladybug is faster than a dragonfly at 37 miles per hour.
The ladybug is faster?
What website are you on? I'm on si.edu.
I'm on A2Zanimals.com.
Okay, I'm on a .edu. I'm going to go ahead and take precedence here.
Oh, you just believe the universities? They just say whatever they want to say.
Look,
you get one teacher
This is the Smithsonian Institute.
That doesn't matter.
It says, quote, the fastest flying insect. Dragonflies are known to travel at speeds of 35 miles an hour.
So does a horsefly go 90 miles per hour or not? Because
no way.
Now, a horsefly is something else. I'll tell you that.
Screw them. Awful.
Yeah. We want to talk about something that needs to be extinct. A horsefly.
I agree.
What an aggravating fly.
Things hurt.
The University of Nebraska.
What?
Horseflies go 90 miles per hour. Factually, that's faster than a dragonfly that goes 35
Are you even in the corn hub?
Yeah.
I can't look. I trust Nebraska for football and agriculture, not bug science.
I mean, bugs are kind of agriculture a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
You're kind of yes, but no.
I mean, you're the person that denies science when he wants to deny it, and then also puts it up when he wants to use it as his resource.
We'll do more research during the break.
I think I've done plenty.
But I'm doubting Alondra.
I mean, they go 90 miles per hour. Factually, that's faster than 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
3 times as fast. They're 3 times faster than a dragonfly.
Let's do a race and sell tickets.
There's no way a horsefly is going 90. You're going triple the speed of a dragonfly? Have you ever seen a dragonfly fly? Are you crazy?
I have seen a dragonfly.
What is a horsefly? It just teleports? Just DBZ, instantaneous transmission?
So you were all about Flash when it was a dragonfly, but a horsefly can't be Flash?
I'm not getting owned, chat. You're an idiot. Y'all are all idiots. Y'all are all idiots. We're going to Google this.
No, we should
Scaled
race
up to
them.
human
Grab
size.
a horsefly and grab
Yeah.
a dragonfly and
Yeah.
bring them in the studio and
Hell
just let them
yes.
race to the
No,
wall.
that feels like something that needs to be
Hell yes.
done on the West Bank, not in the studio.
Yeah. We need a lot of room for this.
Dev, what you got going on in spread quarters this
It's
week?
so funny. They found that guy that escaped prison. Guess where they found him? The West Bank. And it's like,
laying
yeah,
low,
there's
dude.
land out there.
He's just laying low. It's like
Yeah.
Mr. Big and take that ish to trial. I'm down in New Orleans with my auntie and my granny.
What a classic. Yeah, what a classic. Reminds me of Lil Doogie when I brought up Lil Doogie yesterday. Dude,
Oh, wow.
16 years ago since the Lil Doogie videos.
It's a long, yeah. Shout out Lil
And if
Duke.
you don't remember him, man, gotta look him up, man.
I know
They-
you put me on him, I think, like a couple years ago. I did not remember him.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like the West Bank puppet. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
arguably
good.
the best puppet of all time.
You tracked him down, though, and what? He doesn't want to do anymore? Doesn't want to be in the public eye anymore, or what?
No, you can't track him down, dude.
Oh, you
Like,
can't track him down.
no, he ain't on no social media, nothing. So I don't know how to track him down. I put out a Lil Doogie post once a year for like the last 4 years. Same with Popeye from the West Bank, you know?
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it out.
Well, Dev, have a great day. Can't wait to see the sit down with Antonio Daniels. That's awesome. Anything else? HMSports.com/shop, of course, for all your RB&R merch, the absolute best. Anything else, Dev?
Respect Your Body Light. Yeah,
Oh.
coming soon. Coming soon.
How about
Coming
that?
soon.
Yeah, I saw
In
that.
his own
yeah.
Respect Your Body beer.
Yep.
You got to love it, dude. We love Cold Coors Light here, but we also
Yeah.
love Dev and Hold the Mayo.
Hey, I was drinking Coors Light at the at AEW. You
Yeah,
know,
I saw
sometimes
that.
that's all there is. You know,
I saw somebody
I was-
Photoshop the Abita on there. That was
Yeah.
great. All right, Dev. Well, you have a great day, man.
All right, y'all take care.
See you, Deb.
All right. We need to go to break and we need to do some research because I think you're full of SHIT, Alondra.
I don't think the Corn Hub's going to be very happy
Nope.
about this.
They're going to be pretty upset with you, brother.
And I'm going to make sure I'm going to clip this
Mhm.
of you doubting them, and I'm
Yep.
going to send it everywhere.
send
And I'm
it to Matt
tagging
Rule.
Matt Rule in
I
it.
don't know.
I'm
Don't
tagging
send,
Matt
Do not
Rule.
send this to Matt Rule. Okay? I don't want that.
I'm going to send it to Tommy Frazier, Eric Crouch, and Scott
Don't do
Frost.
that. No,
too.
don't do it. You can send it to Scott Frost. We don't like
Wow.
him. Yeah.
Wow.
Scott Frost is out. Dude.
Wow.
Can't believe I ever called myself
Insulted
a Frosty
Nebraska
boy.
twice.
I don't think anybody
Uh,
from
yeah, I
Nebraska
mean,
That's
cares
probably
about
a
Scott
weird
Frost anymore.
relationship.
First off, T-Bob did not insult Nebraska nearly as much as Scott Frost did when he was
Yes,
head coach.
thank
You're
you.
good on that one,
Thank
bud.
you.
That's fair.
All right, let's go to break. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the
That's Sensei.
Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. I'm not getting kicked out of the Corn Hub, guys. Relax, okay? And you'll never get kicked out of the All-Star family when you buy from All-Star Toyota. And look, you want to buy new Toyota certified used vehicle lease, all there for you. Great selection, makes and models right there on site. They can also custom order it for you, right? Like I did with my murdered out minis, man. If you got a little time, a little runway, you just want to take your time, get a new vehicle. But remember, the All-Star Toyota Service Center is the best. They have shuttle service, they have rental cars to their site, factory parts, free estimates, and it's welcome to all makes and models. Doesn't have to be from All-Star, doesn't have to be a Toyota. So get in there today, mention OTB, $100 towards your deductible. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Go to that website and see what they have available for you. Something for everybody in every lifestyle. A lot of places you'll have maybe one option, midsize SUV, truck, whatever. Multiple options over at All-Star. Go to the website today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
We don't have a good answer on the Bucks. Even Nebraska's all over the place. Like they have another Nebraska link that says the desert locust, Chicoscreta gregoria, is the fastest, is the world's fastest flying insect.
How did you say that
world's
name?
flaccid
And then you
flying
said
insect.
flastus.
Well, I mean, I definitely didn't say that name right.
Oh,
either.
it felt like you did. You sold it.
Fast flying insect recorded today, they say an average airspeed of 20. Then they say, there are other insects that fly faster, but their airspeeds have not yet been accurately measured. For example, though not proven, dragonflies have been said to fly 60 miles an hour, horseflies at 90. There does seem to be a camp of horsefly believers that think they can achieve speeds of 90 miles an hour.
I mean,
However,
there are multiple sources.
there are also multiple sources that have the dragonfly as the
At
fastest
30.
insect at 35.
35, 90 is still higher than 35.
What I'm saying, though, is there doesn't appear to be a consensus on what is the actual speed, or there doesn't seem to be a consensus on the horsefly.
All right, let's see if we can transition. Speaking of speed, who do we want to see run at the NFL Combine coming up this week?
The guy from BYU, the big tackle.
I think if we're talking LSU players, I want to see Brian Thomas. I think he is going to surprise so many people with how athletic he is going to be. And if we're talking outside of LSU players, I want to see how fast and athletic Brock Bowers is.
Malik Neighbors not.
No, he's going to save it for pro day. I heard Marvin Harrison Jr. apparently is not running at Indy or at his pro day. Well, that would be concerned if I am spending a top 5 pick on someone and I don't have a recorded time. And I know I can turn on the game tape and the eye in the sky doesn't lie, but we all know that these sickos love to see what you do in your underwear at the combine or at a pro day. Like, why would Marvin Harrison Jr. not run at least at pro day?
It doesn't matter. Idea. Best receiver in the draft. We all know it. Confirmed. His dad's Marvin Harrison. Doesn't need to run. He doesn't need to run, guys.
I do. I honestly, like, and I've heard Marvin Harrison Jr. is a great kid. Like, I do get mad by the fact how they're, like, so sure that he is the best receiver in the draft. And I turn on the tape and I see a very good player. I don't see the best receiver in the draft.
And so many people are pushing back. They're like, well, now you're holding his name against him. We're not saying he's not a good player.
He's
a very
player.
good player.
Yeah.
But the fact that everyone says he's a runaway best receiver in the draft, I can't get on board with.
I've seen him go as high as 2 in multiple mock drafts.
The name thing, though, does work both ways. It gets him credit, but it also does cause
I think it's
other
worked
people
more
to kind
for
of
him. It
definitely worked more for
The
him. I would agree
people
with
that use it against him, like I do, are doing it in response to people that use it for him.
Not necessarily.
I mean, that's why I do it.
Not necessarily. But I thought I read that Marvin Harrison said he'd run a 4.3.
He said he would. But
I don't mean he will.
He best prove
Albert
that.
Breer said that he
prove that,
reported yesterday that he's not running in Indy, which, okay, a lot of people don't do that when you're a top 10 pick. I get it. But also said he's not going to test at his pro day, just going to run routes. I don't know. It just felt like your receiver who's going to run a 4.3, that would solidify a lot of the things that you've worked to get towards, which is to be a top 10 pick. And if you're going to run a 4.3, that's only going to make it more intriguing to me as a team to select you.
Well, I've never heard of a top receiver not running.
Me
That's
neither.
Crazy.
Did
he hit a 3.94 shuttle in college too, which is insane.
3.94 is fast. The fastest I've ever seen do it in person was Wes Welker.
What did he do?
It was like a 3. I have to look up the time, but whatever it was, I was like, okay, because like we still did some of that stuff in Denver for like some workouts, and he was 30-something years old, and I'm like, okay, that is not fair. How did you do that fast? I'll have to look up his time though. Like an actual time, not like you telling me that you could do it.
Kingsley Suamataya is who I was talking about from BYU. A very good tackle. He hit 21.5 miles per hour in practice.
That's crazy.
And he's like 300-something pounds and massive. He might run in the 4.8s. You mentioned Brian Thomas. Yeah, if he runs in the 4.3s, which is a chance, and he jumps over 38, he going to get paid. Byron Murphy from Texas, who we talked about earlier, he's expected to run in the 4.8s at 6'1", 308. That would be insane. How about Peyton Wilson? Remember he interviewed him at the Senior Bowl? Massive dude, 6'4", 235.
Oh, yeah.
His camp's out here saying he may break into the 4.4s, which I would be completely shocked if that was possible. But this is a guy who also benches 390, has a 35.5-inch vert. I mean, this is an athletic big man.
What about the names we've seen, mocked to the Saints a little bit, like a Dallas Turner or a Jared Verse? Like, what do we think those guys are going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I'm down to see him run, but again, it's weird. Like, I like the combine stuff just to see the freakiness of an athlete this incredible doing something crazy. I don't really care too much about it informing my draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to draft Jared Verse or Dallas Turner, it's because I saw them maul people constantly on Saturdays in college. You know who's going to be exciting to watch, Jake? He was exciting in Senior Bowl, Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo. Bro, he had a top speed of 23.5 miles an hour, 23.58 to be exact. He also benched 225 21 times, so that dude's a little ball of muscle. And he'll probably run like mid to low 4.3s.
So I've seen him actually mocked to the Saints as well. And it's mock draft season. Everybody's going to be mocked to somebody at one point. I loved his mentality at the Senior Bowl. I mean, you and I were both in the field. Like, we saw it up close and personal. And Roman Wilson got him one time when he fell down. That was the only rep that I saw Mitchell lose. And he was calling out everybody. I mean, it didn't matter. And I interviewed Ricky Pearsall, who left the Senior Bowl, which I'm not a huge fan of because he felt like he'd done enough. But that first day, Doring asked him, like, hey, who do you want to go against? Who are you going to call out tomorrow at the end of practice? He's like, dude from Toledo. He just kept saying Toledo. I'm like, you better learn his name because he's going to be a first rounder.
Yeah.
And he had gotten under the skin of all the receivers there in that early morning practice. And that is a first-round pick, and that is somebody that I want that mentality in my corner.
And that you want your corner to have. Like, you need your corner to have that sort of F you, I'm the man no matter what. Avamars Wine, is it true there's a white cornerback that is first-round pick grade?
Cooper DeJean from Iowa.
But he's not going to run at the combine because he's coming off of an injury?
He broke his leg in November.
Yeah. He will run a pro day, though. And, word on the street is he might, hit 4.3 something.
Yeah. Well, I think he hit the last recorded time Iowa had was about a year and a half ago, and I think he was mid 4.4. So that's not off.
And as Will Compton said, no need to risk any whiteness there at the combine.
No, not coming off injury. Join the MMR group and ignite your career. MMR, the largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, is seeking talented individuals to join the team. And check it out, y'all. For over 3 decades, over 30 years now, MMR headquartered where? Right here in Baton Rouge. Okay? But they got offices all over the globe, which is one of the coolest parts. You go there, who knows where you'll end up, right? What does Bilbo tell Frodo? It's a exciting thing.
I don't know. You got to tell me, Bo.
Stepping out your door, you step on the road, and who knows where you're going to end up. Well, kind of butchered that. MMR offers a tailored path for professional and personal development, and you couple that with outstanding benefits, the dynamic culture, and whether you're a student seeking an internship, you're just beginning your career, or you're a seasoned pro, MMR has a variety of opportunities for you. So build your future with MMR. Go apply now at mmrgrp.com. Carly asks, is there going to be another guy whose PP comes out of his underwear at the combine? Potentially. You never know. It's one of the more exciting parts. I'll never forget that, for sure. His didn't come out. I also remember Matt Jones. Bulge still to this day. He was a fast dude. Big dude. He was a beast at Arkansas.
He was.
Maybe he likes a little too much coke.
He was different like before that kind of quarterback became in vogue.
Yeah, like what would Matt Jones do in today's game? He'd be
like,
an absolute dog.
Today's game? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Read option, the defensive end crashes, and Matt Jones is gone.
Yeah. And he used to always, I just felt like he would fall forward for like 5 yards every time. He used to make me so mad. All right, when we get back, more Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. K to Z blinds. Okay? You want window coverings that wow? You want to bring your home to the next level, whether it's a starter home or a dream home, that all price points are available. Okay, y'all? And look, you probably don't even realize the full depth of impact that this can have both aesthetically and functionally. Whether it's an outdoor living space, a theater room, a master bedroom, a baby room, whatever, take advantage of Brandon Barton and his decades of experience and let him come out to your home, and you're going to be blown away with how much more information you have than when he entered your threshold. KTZ Blinds, KTZ Window Coverings. Check them out.
The thing that I love about them, and we say it every day because it is factual, like the way that they know your space and how quickly they know your space, they know it better than you, and they're going to help you. Inside, outside, does not matter. They're going to know exactly what you need for your home. Go to the website today, k2zblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us. and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road.
Listen up, y'all, cause this is it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back.
Kind of forgot about this song. A little bit of a banger.
Somebody sang this at
Little
karaoke
bit.
Monday night.
Yeah, minus a little bit.
It's a banger.
It's a banger. Somebody sing this at what? Wait, did you did karaoke on Monday this week?
Randomly.
What?
Nathan Velasquez was in town, our old producer, and so I went out to grab a drink with him. And I'd never been to Pelican to Mars.
Did you
and,
like it?
I really liked it. Great vibes.
Pelican to Mars.
Yeah, Pelican to Mars.
Okay. What's that?
It's down the street.
Yeah, it's right down the street.
Everything's down the street.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a good
like everything here in Baton Rouge
Yeah,
is right
that's
down
true.
the street.
It's a cool
It's
bar.
on Government.
It's
yeah.
a really cool bar,
Yeah.
really cool vibes. But yeah, it was apparently karaoke night. So, sang a little Tyler Childers, and I sang a little Tenacious D.
You? Tenacious D in karaoke?
I know.
No way.
I know. A little kickapoo.
What did Nathan sing?
He didn't sing. I know.
Come on, Nathan.
I know. But somebody
Go
sang
to karaoke
But
song.
somebody sang Fergalicious.
That's a good one.
Go-to karaoke song, Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley.
That's a good one.
Kickapoo by Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Easy. It's Sweet Caroline because you don't even have to be good at it, and everyone else is going to sing along and
That's
make you
more
feel
of
better.
a Taylor answer.
Yeah.
That's a Taylor answer.
You sound like the guy in the chat who always says that.
Taylor just wanted to
That's what I was doing.
touch.
No, I mean Sweet Caroline. Everyone
Okay,
joins in on
Taylor
that.
just wants to touch little girls. That's all I can
Yeah.
take from that answer.
Yeah.
See, Bob. Look,
Alondra?
man. Look, we know it's a joke. One day you're going to put me in a bad spot, and there's going to be people waiting for me outside when I leave work. Like it's not going to be good.
Well, I probably should have gotten on those websites on your phone yesterday, but I thought it'd be a good bit if you got arrested and like
Like
It's
on
a good
air.
joke. It is
Yeah.
funny. It's a good joke. Yeah.
Like, I should have uploaded all that CP onto your hard drive, but I just figure like it's just boys being boys, just a good gag.
Anyways,
It's just a prank.
Alondra,
That would actually be the worst thing you
let's
could
get away
possibly
from
do.
this
Yeah.
conversation.
So my go-to karaoke song is usually like some Selena. Like, so y'all probably wouldn't know it because it's
Selena
in
Dion?
Spanish. Yeah, Selena Dion. I
No,
do
who
like
is
some
Selena
Selena. She's
Selena Gomez.
she's a Spanish. She's Mexican. She got killed.
Oh,
Like
no.
a long.
It was the
We've
J-
talked to J-Lo did a movie. She played her in a movie,
Huh.
and she was like a Mexican like superstar.
Yeah,
and
I'll
she
have
was
to listen to
she
some
was
today.
about to cross over. Like she literally had just released like a song in English, and she was about to cross
Yeah.
over. And the president of her fan club killed her, shot and killed her.
I'm starting to remember talking about this.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. So my grandparents, like I've mentioned, they own a bar and they would do karaoke night on Wednesdays, and they'd always make me go do a karaoke song, and it'd always be Selena. And I'd get the party started. Like I'd be like, but if it was in English, probably Friends in Low Places.
Well, we need to
It's a good
do.
one. Everybody's gonna know that one.
Yeah.
To Taylor's point.
You can always do what's rehab? Is rehab
Amy
the-
Winehouse.
No,
Try
no,
to
no,
make
no,
me
no.
go to
Rehab.
rehab.
No. What's the song? It's like
Bartender,
"Well, I'm sitting on the
this time."
inside,
Yeah.
waiting for my rain. Too much memory. Yeah. That's
Oh,
not a
man, I
bad one.
forgot about that.
Now I'm
song.
headed to the penitentiary to me on TV.
I think that what's that? You never even called me by your name. That'd probably be a good karaoke song because the people when you're like, let me. You know that David Allen Coe song?
Oh, yeah.
And you get the crowd involved.
Yeah.
Or maybe like Family Tradition where he's like, to get drunk. That part.
That's
That'd
true.
be a cool one.
Any interactive crowd, if you don't want to sing, anything where the crowd.
I mean,
can
y'all are taking
join
all
in
you're
with
taking the easy way out. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
I
take it easy out with Kickapoo, bro.
I sing in Spanish.
I hit Jack
Sure,
Black,
yeah.
Meatloaf, and Dio, all in Kickapoo.
How
So
does
I'm bringing out
the
three
how
different
does the
voices.
crowd react to that when you sing it?
That goes great. The Tyler Childers not as much. It Feathered Indians, and that was just a little more chill. Maybe a little too chill for the vibe.
Yeah. You got to get into it a little bit.
So Matt Jones was 6'6" and a quarter. Ran a 4.37 40. Had a 10.9 broad jump, a 39.5-inch vertical jump.
Yep.
That's what? 6'6" and a quarter, 242 pounds, 6'6", ran a 4.37 40 and jumped 40 inches in the air.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
And so we were talking about during the break, mockdraftable.com, great website I just found. At his combine, he was, arm length, he was 54%, but 40-yard dash, 99%, vertical jump, 97%, broad jump, 97%.
This is wide receiver ranking.
Yes. Height, 96%. Hand size, 3%. 9-inch king.
That's what we love, baby. 9.5-inch hands.
3%.
Which normally we don't allow 9.5 in, but if you're 6'6" and you're 9.5, you're in the club.
Yep.
Let's freaking go, Matt Jones. Legend of the game. I would love to have a beer with Matt Jones.
I know he was doing radio in Arkansas for a long, long time. I don't know if he was with our boy Basil.
You think you could beat him in a race?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Like, even if he's like fat and old now, he's still probably just got that sneaky speed where he could just torch anyone. All right, when we get back, close out the show with Ask the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. Okay? You need the most complete, the most reliable, and the most respected roofing company. You want Coleman. Go to colemanroof.com. Check them out today. Look, great crew over there at Coleman. I'm talking young, energetic, work hard to serve you. And when I say complete, so many different ways. The size of the project doesn't matter. Commercial, residential, anything. They do it. They've done it. Okay, the area doesn't matter. They cover all of Louisiana and the entire Gulf South region. The type of roof does not matter. Shingle, slate, whatever, terracotta, they got you. Certified installers for all the major brands. And then construction's tagged on the end there, right? Coleman Roofing and Construction. That's because they rebuild the interior. So during these recent storms, you got some water damage. You need drywall repairs, insulation, anything like that. Tree falls in the house. Coleman rebuilds your home and your roof. Coleman Roofing and Construction, hit it up today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
He's here.
Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Kurz Live Visitor. Tell the Blue Moon Lights guys this week. Ask the Bench OTB karaoke night. We should. We still
got to do our Pelicans trip, too.
We have a lot of trips we got to do.
Are we going to a Pelicans game?
For a while.
That was one
that was even maybe even before you, Alondra.
Yeah.
Before you jumped on the show. Yeah, we were a team trip down to the Smoothie King Center. Deb was going to meet us there. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Unhinged that jaw, sir.
Just got tired, dude. Sheesh.
I'm down
Ask
for
the Bench.
karaoke night.
What song that when you played, you just have to dance no matter the situation?
Majority of them.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think that's a lame
I just feel
answer.
that
That's me
rhythm.
too.
Yeah, like this one right now. I got a little shoulder bump going. A little shoulder action.
Yeah. T-Bob, I feel like you have like one that.
I'm trying to. I'm racking my brain here desperately.
Mine's "Carry Out" by Timberland.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear "Carry Out" by Timberland,
Anything Timberland.
probably gonna dance.
Ask the Bench, which LSU baseball series has you most excited to watch, and which baseball series has you most concerned about coming out with a win? I haven't really looked at the SEC schedule yet, so I mean, I'm not sure like where you play Arkansas or when you play them. I'm just excited for Texas Friday night.
Yeah. I'm
For
really excited
me,
for that one.
it is the Florida Gators coming to Alex Box Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is March 22nd through the 24th. I will be in attendance.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. T-Bob, you ever eat at Steakhouse 71 in Disney World? They have a burger that's a mix of beef and pork belly. Had it yesterday. It's delicious. Ooh, I'm jelly that you're there. Have fun, Gulf. But no, I'm not. Sounds great, though. I love a good proprietary meat blend, right? Like
Yeah.
you get like a great maybe like a little bit of sirloin, your beef or whatever, or your ground beef. I'm trying to think about it was bacon and ribeye? Like bacon and ribeye burgers? What are you laughing about?
So, I was looking at the chat and I'm playing catch up, and you said I'd love to have a beer with Matt Jones, and somebody in the chat said just make sure the mugs aren't too big.
Okay, relax.
Because y'all got tiny hands.
Both of y'all.
Matt Jones would beat the hell out of you. Oh. Ask the Bench. Hester, was Hal Hunter on the staff when you were with the Chargers?
He was every
year.
year.
You think he was a good coach?
Every year that I was there, yeah, he was a great coach. He was the offensive coordinator the last year that I was there. Hal, listen to this. Hal, so he was the interim head coach for LSU for one game for a bowl game after Donardo got fired. But he had an old LSU chair that was in the old LSU locker room that he had at his house. And he's like, look, I like this thing, but like you're an LSU guy. And I walk into the Charger locker room one day. Hal has put it in front of my locker. And so my entire time in San Diego, my locker room chair was an old school LSU chair from the old locker room because Hal brought it to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what else is badass? Going to Rejuve Medical and fighting the untreated effects of aging. Feeling younger, faster, stronger. Feeling like you just injected PF flyers into your bloodstream. But look, if you got mood and memory problems, insomnia, andropause, menopause, facial aging, can't sleep at night, you don't have the energy rolling into bed that you used to, the confidence, all of this are the untreated effects of aging. Understand they can be combated, okay? Like you could, there's science. And so you go in and you get your labs drawn for free. You get that consultation and they customize a plan for you to get you where you want to be. So go check them out today. They're in Baton Rouge, they're Metairie, they're Slidell, they're now in Shreveport as well. That's Rejuve Medical. Restore me, fool me, rejuve me, RejuveMedical.com.
If you want to be as fast as a horsefly,
it's not.
Rejuve Medical.
It's not. It's arguable.
No, it's not.
It's arguable.
It's not.
Let the record
Jack.
show.
It's
No,
a fact.
no. Let the record show. It's actually, I think, literally not a fact.
Let the record
fact.
show it's a fact.
Yep. Science denier. T-Bob.
For real.
Yeah, I feel like I can't find the question, but I feel like somebody asked about your favorite syrup.
I mean,
Maple?
yeah.
As far as brand,
T-Bob-
I used to get that.
T-Bob's very passionate about this, by the way.
I used to get that Mrs.
Yep.
Buttersworth syrup.
He
growing
rolls his
up.
eyes
Shut up,
at
Taylor.
anybody
Aunt
that says
Jemima.
maple.
Shut up, Taylor.
Anybody says maple, he rolls his eyes. Go ahead.
Taylor's like, I
Chocolate.
really like the Walmart. Get out of here.
Buttersworth syrup? Yeah.
Yeah, the most basic.
That's what we used to
You
get.
got 15
character in that
seconds to
syrup.
go on your
Blackburn.
rant.
You want your
15 seconds.
Blackburn.
Go.
You want your Blackburn. You want your Blackburn. I love a good, but even more than that, their brand, I love a more honey syrup. You know, like a thicker. I need a thicker, like a Steen's cane syrup. Yeah, hell yeah. Mrs. Buttersworth, take a freaking lap, Taylor, you idiot. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event.